For the two of us. Let's get live trading started today. Let's go, let's go.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Those words have been dancing around my head all night. Oh, it's Vegas law, that phrase.
Kiana.
Fisher.
Joy.
Joe. Cards drawn are the past, ones to come are future.
And the best part? It's beatable.
Good morning, traders. I hope you guys are ready to go ahead and get started with the trading action. I know I'm super excited. I'll show you guys in a little bit why, but let's go ahead and bring on my guy in the district. He has a little bit of swag to him today. Let's bring him on here. Ryan Faloona, what's going on, man?
Not much, man. Just chilling. A little bit of swag just today because I normally am the least swaggy person there is. It's actually overcast and rainy outside, which I absolutely love here. So it's dark in the office, so I figured let's swag it up with some lights here, Mitch. You and me, we're going to hold it down.
Hey, it's a big year like always, 2022. We've been doing this since the beginning. We're going to keep doing this all year, and we're just getting better. I think we've been doing really great of touching all different types of stocks. So get ready, guys. Here is the one show that goes from talking about Apple to the next thing you know, we're trading Redbox if we need to. So like always, right, guys,
we trading whatever's hot, man. Redbox has been on an absolute tear recently. We're hitting bangers, baby.
Hey, if you guys want to trade it, we'll take a look at it. Let's go ahead. Let's take a look at some of the stocks out there. First, I'm going to go to my man Ryan, and then we'll go ahead and take a look at some of the stocks that we're looking at. What a close yesterday. I don't know if you were caught that close, Ryan, but man, this is why I always try to wait to do my thumbnails because I always do them around like 2 p.m. trying to judge the market a little bit, you know, being like, okay, so we had a red day, green day type of thing. And boy, did I have to be like, okay, yeah, the thumbnail might not match the market today, but hey,
it's like you got the little bit of a head fake to the up out of the open, and then it kind of just bled all day, and then right in the afternoon, it's like, nope, we going back to unch, we going right back to even. That's exactly what happened. Kudos on the thumbnails. So, okay, couple of things we are going to take a look at today. This is the last one here that I was actually charting up. So we're going to go ahead and lead with it. Blue Apron. We traded this yesterday. We talked about it yesterday. This is back on the radar for today.
Nice.
So again, I know this is a small cap. We've got some other stocks that we're going to talk about here. Let's just run down the small cap and get these levels. By the way, Charlie, I see your question. Ryan, still holding Apple short. No, I closed those. Remember, they were this week's 155 calls, and we got 153 prints yesterday. I closed those. I actually think that I closed them near the dead low. I'm very rarely do I hit the bottom, but it looks like I might have done that yesterday. Now, do we go lower after the Fed? Your guess is as good as mine. I would not be opposed to taking another Apple short. Great question. Anyway, back to these small caps here. Apron was absolutely on the radar yesterday. This is going to be back on the radar today. As always with these plays, they really, really need some volume. But here you go. Here are the levels that we're looking at. We're kind of in no man's land right here, which is great. I want this to make its move right out of the open. We'll determine where we're at after the buyers and sellers tell us where they are at. So Apron, these are going to be the levels we're looking at. SOUN, this was also a huge one yesterday. It erased my drawings. By the way, we have a fix coming for that. Anyway, this one moved yesterday. I was tied up with some other ones. I didn't necessarily shout this out. I actually think someone in the chat hit this one yesterday. We're going to be looking at this again today, right? So I'm basically just looking for some of these highs. We're approaching the highs here. This is close to a $20 stock. This thing likes to move around like crazy. So as long as this has volume, this is going to be in play again today. That's SOUN. SNOA. This one also going to be in play today here. So this is a 4 hour. This is actually the one I'm going to watch out of the open. What I would love to see happen here is for this to kind of churn a little bit, catch and then move towards 440 and take that out. I think if we get that, we might get some fireworks. Going down the list here, FTRP is another $1 kind of a penny stock here. This is up. This was actually, it was over $1 yesterday. So we're going to be watching this one again. Let's see, SESN, I'm going to skip. HCDI, this moved a little bit yesterday too. This one had a nice little day, having a much bigger pre-market. Let's see what happens with this one today. And then, of course, the last one there is going to be Apron, APRN. Let's check out ATER. This is another one that was moving yesterday. Kind of stalled out here, pretty muted pre-market. So this is really only something to follow if volume shows up. Unsure if that's going to happen. The other thing, Chris is asking, can we get an 8-ball look at the Qs? You know we can. Just give me 1 sec here. The other thing that I want to watch today, I didn't get it. I want to watch the earnings. Let me go ahead and get that earnings graphic, Mitch. Just give me 1 sec.
Not a worry. I got it for you, man. No, that's all you got to ask
look
for,
at this
man.
guy. Look at this guy.
Come on, dude. I got you, bro. I'll put it up in 2 seconds here. Boom, boom.
Yeah, I'm getting it right now, too.
It's already up there. Look at that. Ooh, taking over the full screen there. You got it on your screen too. Boom. No, I have it in the out.
Oh, you have it in asset
overlays. You go on the overlays and you can find it.
So we're also going to be watching this today. I know we just got Pfizer. I'm not necessarily going to trade any of the stocks that reported earnings this morning. They're not normally my traders. A lot of people are waiting for AMD tonight. I'm going to be, I believe I'm going to be short through Lyft via puts tonight. I'm basically going to use my profits from my Apple trade on that. So
hey, you're a brave guy, Ryan.
Say again?
Brave guy. I have trouble playing those earning plays. I was thinking about doing the long on MGM too. So when you do an options play on, let's say, Lyft like that, are you just buying a put, or are you trying to do like a spread? How do you
this would just be puts. I would just be buying puts, and I would do it in such a way where I define my risk ahead of time, right? So and I'm just making up numbers. I'm not actually looking at maybe I should look at the option.
Yeah, let's take a look right quick.
Well, all right, so if we look at the option chain, I got a current ask. Obviously, the market's not open. It's trading up a little bit here, but I got a current ask on the 30 put for Lyft expiring this Friday. So that is this Friday's 30 put, current ask 148. So we're talking about $150 a contract. And at that point, when I say define your risk ahead of time, I would, if for earnings plays, because it's pretty much all or nothing, the way I'm going to take this is I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to buy as many contracts as I feel comfortable losing, right?
Risking to zero, right?
Right. So if they're $150, I might take 2 or 3 contracts. Okay, $300, $450. If I lose that on an earnings play, it sucks, but it's not going to kill me. If I make 100 or 200%, we're talking about $1,200. So I'm going to structure it that way, basically looking for a 3-to-1 on that. You can adjust your position size accordingly.
Love it. So Ryan just mentioned is very important, right? And so always structuring your trades and trying to give yourself what? Mathematical advantage, because that's all we can do, right? We never know if we're going to be right or wrong. The only thing we can do is choose to be on a side and then what? Risk manage. And so you're seeing here Ryan talking about a 3-to-1. And so he should make 3 times the reward for 1 times that risk. And so I think this is the important part here also. It's not only that he's taking the option trade. I mean, whether you're an option trader or equity trader or long-term, right? Just always determine what your pain level is to get you out of the trade. And then always know also, I like to know the reward side. Some people on the long term, they don't like to kind of give themselves rewards, but I always trying to give myself the reward. So I know both sides of the trade and can stay in the mathematical advantage. I think this is very important because once you keep the mathematical advantage in your favor, what you can do is you can actually measure your accuracy and the way that you should be attacking trades to keep yourself into the green. All right, let's go ahead. Go ahead, Ryan.
Let me just answer a question here real quick. JJ is asking, Ryan, is Sound a SPAC? How can you tell if a stock is a SPAC? What's the easiest way to tell? Okay, so the easiest way to tell is to use Benzinga Pro. You literally, if you just pull up the stock in details and you click on overview, a lot of the times there will be information about the company all the way at the bottom. Now in SOUN, there isn't. Okay. So I'm going to I chose this because I'm going to give you an example of what else you can do if we don't have information on it. Here's an example of Western Digital, right? We have a little blurb here about the company as well as a link to the company's webpage. And then let me get his comment off here so you can see it. This is right down here in the right corner. This is on the overview tab of details. If a stock is a SPAC, a lot of the times it'll mention it in there. It'll say that this is a blank check acquisition company or something of that nature to let you know that it's a SPAC. Now, we didn't have that information on SOUN. So what I did, the good old fashioned Google machine, right? Is SOUN a SPAC? Boom. Took me 3 seconds to figure that out. So I'm always going to go to pro first. That's information that I know has been vetted by our news desk and our team. But in the event that we don't have something, I'm simply going to Google it. That's what I did here today. Hope that answers your question.
So one of the things that you can do for that, and then the way that I would suggest it, Ryan, is when you go to that stock, you go into the news and you hit the SEC filings. So you should either see an S1 or you're going to see something that mentions SPACs. And so clearly you see it here in the filings. When you hit it, there's only 2 filings there. And what do they say? They say Acronemis or Archimedes Tech SPAC Partner Co. And that right there, when you open any of these, you're going to start seeing a little bit more explanation of what is happening here. And so this will go ahead and tell you. So that's where I go to. I go right into the SEC filings. You're going to see some filings that clearly state that it's a SPAC.
That's a great call. Always review the SEC filings. I actually like that more than just Googling it. I'm just in the habit of Googling it. Side note here, that's Archimedes. That is named
Archimedes.
After the
There you go.
Greek mathematician who was
Boom.
also an engineer and a physicist.
Gotta get up on my Greek game, man.
Bang.
You guys know I don't know my options. Got to get on my Greek game.
Nice way to tie that together. So anyway, so that's what I'm looking here for today. We are going to watch some of these earnings plays. Of course, we've got the 2-day Fed starting today. We're going to be watching that as well. But in the morning here, I think we're going to have some opportunities to trade some of these small caps. What are you looking at, Mitch?
All right, let's go ahead. Let's take a look at some of those stocks. Yeah, that sound. We'll take a look at that. It is up there at 16. A lot of this sometimes happens because you got to remember when SPACs try to make these trades, and I'm going to bring it in with Redbox also. RDBX there yesterday, we saw these lifts. This is a lot of the times because high redemption, low float. So understand that. That's why we saw Redbox halt downwards yesterday, then halt upwards. And so what does this show us? That there's very high volatility in these names. Sometimes you're going to see 7-10% swings. So understand your risk whenever you're going after these SPACs that are starting to boom. Unless there's a true catalyst that's really taking it to the next level, it could just be kind of this low float squeeze type of play, where if so many people jump on the buy button and there's, let's say, 1 million float size, and then the stock is trading, and we could take a look at how big Redbox traded yesterday. There was 161 million shares traded. And so if the float was 1 million, we just rotated that 160 times. That's how you really get a stock moving, right? And what does that show us? That shows us momentum, because the volume comes in, and if it's all driven into one side, of course, it's going to move the stock. And so one of the things to keep in mind, though, is this could easily come just down as fast as it goes up. I think that's to keep in mind, because I saw a lot of people in pre-market prep talking about, is Redbox is going to continue going? And this is when you got to understand risk. And then it's okay to take a swing. I have no problem with you guys trading Redbox. The main thing is understanding your risk and share size in a position like this. All right, let's go to some other stocks. I know a lot of people are going to be watching AMB, Airbnb, earnings after the close. You could see a nice push on up. The big thing for us is watching the SPY, right? Because yesterday, where did we start breaking down from? We started breaking down from the 14.1629. Around that area is where we started bouncing off. And you could see here on May 2nd, we bounced off those levels, started washing down, and then pushed right back up to those levels. So right now I'm looking, do we get back towards the 420? 420 would be that area that you could see that upside just come right back into the names. Of course, downside action. What do we want to see? Okay, so if you're looking for downside action, we're looking below the 410.50s. Why the 410.50s? If you look at the monthlies or even, let's say, the dailies, you can go back towards this daily low here, 410.64 on February 24th. That is a very important level. As you guys can see, we went kind of really close to that yesterday. Then we recovered it. Let's see if we close below 410. Above 410, it's still sideways action and could give us some upside looks. Let's look at some other names out there. I'm going to be watching also Hertz today, guys. I'll give you guys Hertz to watch. Why? Because Carr actually had a decent earnings report. I'm going to keep watching there to see what happens here. If we see that lift come up in Carr and Hertz. So Carr is going to actually lead us. I want to see Carr push immediately right to that 320. Then I'll look to see if Hertz can catch the bid here. It has some nice support, 3 bottom actions around the 20. You could see a little dip towards that 20. It gives us a wick towards, let's say, this low right here towards 1980s or 1975, and then a quick recovery up there towards 21. And really, we want to see it coming towards 22 today to show us that it's coming back towards this high over here, the 24 that it broke down from. The big thing for me is that Hertz also has the earnings after the close. So this is not something I'm going to be holding. This is something that I'm just trying to play off of sympathy. Let's take a look at some other trades out there. We'll see what happens right now. I mean, I know that we saw the Qs kind of push on up, and that was mainly because the semiconductor is kind of running into the close there. But the question is, was that kind of more now profit taking that you'll see right out the gates, and then boom, it's right back down. So we'll see what happens on the Qs. Big thing for me is the Qs looked more bearish than the SPY. If you could see, we're actually way below those kind of February lows. This was that February candle that we were looking to see if it closed below there. And we are actually closing below those levels now. So we're going to see if we can actually get back down here towards the 312s today and keep coming on the downside on these tech names as we see in pullback. Take a look at the bigger names. Tesla had a decent day yesterday. Apple was fighting to break down. Let's see if Apple gets back above 160 or does it head towards 156.
Yeah,
all right, we got about 8 minutes left. And what are you checking out, Ryan?
Nothing. I just want to really quickly address a couple of things I saw in the chat here. Jolly B is saying, can you trade out of those options overnight, or are you stuck in them till market hours? Options cannot be traded after hours, with the sole exception of a couple of like those ETF. They get 15 minutes or so after the close. No, you would have to wait until the market opens the next day. Good question. Lynn Williams saying Tesla's setting up for the open, does it every day. That's true. Tesla has been a pretty good trader these past couple of days. I don't trade that one, though. A little too risky for my blood. Chris says IV crush is why I don't play earnings. Chris, that's probably why you do pretty well in earnings season, because you're right. Unless you have the right plan for this or a really good inkling on what's going on, you're probably going to end up giving away a lot of those due to that IV crush. What he's talking about is the implied volatility crush, right? If as we lead into a binary event, that implied volatility creeps up. If the stock doesn't have an outside move after the event, that implied volatility starts going down. Even if you pick the right instrument, short or long, you still might not make profit because of that IV crush. So really good thing there. And then Patrick says, is Zunaid fired? No, man, Zunaid is under the weather. We all get a little sick. That cold and flu that's going around it's going around. It's everywhere. People in all different states have it. I'm sure that's what happened to him. He's going to be back. He's going to be resting up, getting ready to YOLO as soon as he's back. Don't worry about
truth
that.
is
Not sipping daiquiris. I can tell you that. If he's sipping daiquiris, we got it.
The truth is that Zunaid took a huge option trade, and he's living in Mexico now, guys. So I don't know what to tell you. But if you see Zunaid in Mexico doing a little dance saying, I don't pay taxes, you know what happened there. But the IRS will come after him. We'll see him later, though. Zunaid will definitely be back with a little bit of YOLO action, and you guys can tell him later that I sent him to Mexico. But let's go. Let's get ready to the open. If you guys got a stock you guys want to check on out, throw it up in the chat. I do see some stocks in there, so I'll go ahead and cover one here. Holly,
I'll be right back here before the open.
Yeah, by all means. Holly right here coming in with SMG. Let's take a look at SMG here. Scott's Miracle Grow. We've been seeing fertilizer stocks take off, right? And one of the things that happens with SMG is they have what? They have a subscription business for lawn care. Lawn care comes when? it comes into the summer. And so this is one of those plays that, hey, Holly, I like the idea. You know, we're thinking a little bit seasonality. We're thinking a little bit of rotation. We've been seeing what a lot of the fertilizer stocks come on up. We did get a little bit of a pop action, but it kind of faded back down. Let's take a look at the weekly, seeing how many downside actions we have on this chart. And so one of the things that I see is clearly is this was like the first downside action. Then we get the second downside action here. And now we've gotten that third downside action. And then what? It tested it one more time, going towards a fourth downside action. I like this bottom near the 100 level. We're really close towards that. You can see here, I would hold towards that 100 right around here. There's like 109. Let me go ahead and just kind of edit this towards 100. And so that's the level that I would kind of draw in the sand as my down out level. But if we're looking for this to become a seasonality play, we're looking for the move back up to resistance. I know why. No wonder why I got a little echo there, Ryan, when you came back.
Is it still there?
Yeah, there's a little bit. Yeah, I'm hearing in the background. I don't know if you have a stream open. It might just be me, but I do hear a little bit of an echo. I just want to make sure we're not getting an echo because that's always annoying. Let us know in the chat, guys, if you guys hear an echo. I think it went away. Hello? Yeah, there's an echo for some reason when Ryan joins.
Yeah, that's crazy because I don't hear it on my end.
That's weird. I'll just keep going. If you guys in the chat hear us echoing, just let us know in the chat. I'll just keep going. So SMG here, 100 hold. We're looking for a push maybe back towards 130 as a swing trade type of look, at least for my mentality. I would look for a move back on up towards the 130. Do I think this company is the best company in the world? No, but I also understand why you'd be kind of looking at it in this time. One thing that I would want to do is look at it on a monthly to see if we get runs consistently during these months, right? During these summer months. Is this the kind of trend that we see often in SMG? And so one of the things that I would be looking for is how do we react a lot of the times coming out of, let's say, May or kind of going into May and April. And so we're looking at here, you can see here, this was actually the top here in April last time when we started coming back down. So let's see back in the chart here. Let's look back on this 2019. 2019 gave us what? Let's look here. So you can see here, this was April here, and then we actually did get a run into the summer. And so that's what I would do. I look a lot of the times and I look back into the history to see if we see this. So there you go. Echo big time. There you go. I see the mention, but I think it's went away there. Ryan came back and for some reason it's gone. I don't know if this is a shared screen. Maybe reshare your screen and then we'll see if it goes kind of completely away. But I don't hear the echo anymore.
Do you hear it now? Are we good?
No, I
now?
think we're good.
Okay.
Yeah, I was echoing, but I don't understand why, but oh well. We're good now, guys. Better now, definitely. All right, so we'll see if SMG can kind of look. That's what I would do. I would look back in history to see if this is a consistent thing that you find in the pattern. Last year it kind of failed, but the year before that it did well. So that's what I like to look for. And then we'll see if this is kind of more of a seasonality play and to see if it can start pushing on up. The way I was looking at it, Ryan, was like, you know, summer, Scott's Miracle Girl, they have a lot of lawn care subscribers. That could be something that could affect it in the summer. We'll see what happens. All right. Yeah, echo is gone. Thank God.
Sorry about that.
Worry about that. Doesn't SMG have earnings? Probably after the close today, maybe. Let me just take a look right quick. That's an easy look for me. All I got to do is just go to my Benzinga Pro. Boom, boom. Let's go ahead.
They were released this morning. The conference call is in
progress, guys. In progress. So we could take a look there. What were the earnings? Let's take a look.
Beat top line and bottom line.
Boom. There you go. Good earnings. And it doesn't look like it was ran into the earnings. Now you got maybe seasonality coming into play. I like the play. Good mention there, Holly. I'll take a look at it. Thank you for mentioning also the earnings because I honestly didn't know about Scott's. There's so many stocks that reported yesterday. Sometimes you're going to miss them. All right, let's keep going. Casino about to open. We'll see what happens if these casinos kind of can keep going on up. I see Zoom being mentioned in the chat. What do you think about Zoom, Ryan?
I like Zoom as a product. I'm not sure I really like the stock, to be quite honest with you. It's just, I mean, okay. So a couple of things. So I actually really like the product. I like the company. The stock price was way too high, so I'm just not sure that we're actually ready to take this long. Now, looking at this chart here, I mean, the trader in me says, hey, this thing should probably bounce pretty soon, shouldn't it? This is a pretty interesting looking chart here. I don't think it'll ever really get back to its highs. I think that was absolutely a fluke. Now, will this trade higher here? Sure, it could. I don't know if this is necessarily where I'd be deploying my capital for an investment or a swing trade. I'd want to wait, right? I'd want to wait this out.
Lassie pulled me out, guys, and there's the bell. Let's go ahead. Let's get after it, guys. And no, I did not take DKNG yesterday, even though I called it. I was looking for 13s, and I'll be honest, I put it on the trade idea widget. I was looking for more an investment, and so I was looking to kind of average in under 13s on DKNG. Missed the move yesterday, but we'll see what happens today. The way I'm looking at DraftKings is there's just not much in the summer, but I do think last time we had a run into July and August, so that's what I'm looking at it in the gambling stocks. Let's get after the market. If you guys got a stock that's moving here out the gates, you guys can call it out, but I'm going to be kind of more watching here. I can see immediately energy up, real estate and communication services. So energy is up 0.5. So let's take a look at some of these oil plays today. MRO, what are we getting there? We're getting a nice hold around the 25 level. Let's see if this kind of keeps pushing there. You can see here I pushed out right out the gates there. MRO pushing on up there, almost to 25.40s there. We'll see what happens there. How's the SMG out the gates there? There you go, a little bit of a pullback. Let's see if this comes back on up through 109. AMD was one I wanted to watch to see if we we're going to get a breakdown of the Qs here. So taking a look here, I think some people are very positive. There you guys have it. AMD breaking down a little bit. We're going to look for a pushback towards VWAP for it to start coming back down here. So a pushback towards 90 is what we're looking for here in AMD to get short. I still have Twitter on, so I got to keep an eye out on this. I want to see it close up by 50 today. Twitter, we still have from 46.69. I'm diamond handing this, guys, the last little shares, and I ain't going away, man. Diamond hands are out, guys. All I can say is diamond hands on this Twitter, baby. Ooh, who's getting them diamonds? No paper hands here, baby. Let's go.
I love the diamond assets and the floating diamond. I mean, that's one of my favorite, Mitch. I absolutely love it.
Let's go, guys. Let's get it going, man. Are we going to get a little bit squeezy today? Squeezy? Who's going to get that squeeze? You get that squeeze today. All right, seeing a little bit of a pullback action there. I'm looking for AMD to come back to VWAP here to maybe take a short on AMD. I know a lot of people are looking for upside action, so I'm actually contrarian today, looking for the short here. Might get short right now. It just hit the VWAP there. Getting on up here. VWAP I have closer towards 89, 87. So looking for a move into the 88 or 89, 90s here to get short here.
And real quick, the chat's talking about our being halted. Our absolutely is halted here. First move out of the open, rocket up, halted at 432. We will watch that and see if it sets up. I'm not in that. I didn't take that. I like to avoid halts if possible, but we will absolutely watch that next. Our halted here.
Getting a little bit of lag here, trying to get into AMD, but still haven't gotten in, guys. I'll let you guys know if I do get a short here put on.
HCDI, this has been pretty much on the radar the past couple of days here. This is hanging out right around its pivot. 381 is where I got the VWAP here, so really need to take that out. 380-ish.
Man, missing the sentry here on AMD. I'm getting some lag here on my data. That's why I haven't gotten in, guys. If not, I would have got in there. See if I can catch it here.
ATER highs. ATER going here.
Getting some lag here. I always get weirded out when I get lag on my data. See it lagging a little bit. I think it might be my internet, so you guys hear me lag out a little bit. That's probably what it is. See if I can get.
I'm looking around here, folks.
Here. Yeah, I'm looking around too, but I'm just having lagging data right now. Energy's still leading us here. Now you got healthcare, basic materials coming back today. Not a bad one to kind of take a look at. Paper and paper products, building materials, and silver kind of leading the way. Chemicals behind that.
Trader
No
Joe
trade
says
yet.
he's lagging also. Interesting. Apple spiking down here, 157 session lows here on Apple.
Yeah, guys. My dad is a little bit lagging out here, so I'm gonna just kind of
Is
wait.
it your broker? Is it your broker that's
Yeah,
lagging?
my broker's laggage a little bit. And it's the data coming in because I usually have one like regular time in sales, and then I have like my two filtered ones. And my regular time in sales, I can see it. It's kind of like stuttering a little bit, and then all of a sudden it gets a whole bunch of data to flow through. So that's when I start. I just be careful, guys.
Yeah,
Whenever
no, for sure.
I notice data lagging, the worst thing that can happen is you take a day trade with sizing and you can't get out. That's the worst thing that could happen, right? And so at this point, what I do is I just focus on my swing trades, making sure that those are not getting destroyed. And then I'll just try to get through this kind of little lag here of data.
Yeah, if your platform's not working, don't try to force it. That's one way to really kind of get in trouble.
Right now, I would have got short on the AMD turning around there at the 90s, but I can't do it here. I'm just lagging out. So that would be my trade. I'll let you guys know if I would have got stopped out. I would have got there at 80, 89 80s, and then I would have been risking up towards 90 20s here. Let's see what happens there. I'm not in this trade, guys. I want to take it, but I'm just still seeing lag. TOS lagging too. There you go.
Not for me, although I have not tried any execution. I have not tried to buy or sell any instrument yet. So I've not seen the lag, but that doesn't mean it's not there. First time I try to do one here, I'll let you know what I see. Watching ATER at the moment.
Someone asking for sectors here. So healthcare is actually leading us now. Energy and then financial services behind that. What is down? Nothing, guys. Nothing from the open is down. Technology up 0.08. That's kind of the lagging sector, but nothing is down from the open. Let me see if there's any industries that are pointing towards the downside, and there's not much. I can tell you that, guys. In technology, there's some like semiconductors and applications, but other than this, there's not much. Here's one that's really lagging: the education and training services. Why is that lagging? Because of Chegg earnings, guys. But we'll see what happens there. This defensive's coming back there. How's the SPY doing here? SPY's coming back down to 414. We'll see if we come back down towards the 410s. I'm still waiting here. I'm not taking anything yet, guys.
Yeah, and folks, I actually just did entry and exit on ATER. Took a small loss here on 1,000 shares. It moved the opposite direction. Now it's moving up, of course. But I did not experience any lag on my end. That doesn't mean that all Thinkorswim is the same, nope. But I seem to be doing okay at least.
Why are we up? Well, now we're down, bro. That's how it goes sometimes, guys. Small spike in AMC. Hey, not a bad one to mention, at least MD. One thing that I want to do is it's okay to mention stocks, guys. Feel free. The big thing is also is if you know a catalyst, tell us why you think it's moving. That could help someone else figure out the trade. All right. Let's see what happens. I mean, this might be my internet. You got to remember, guys, I run a couple programs at the same time. Just a couple.
Big baller Mitch over here. That's what
we got to run the show, right? Like I got OBS open.
Someone's got to do it.
I got, to tell you the truth, Chrome takes up so much memory. They need to fix Chrome. They just don't care. That I think what I figured out, Ryan, was Google was like, you know what? We're going to take all your memory on your computer so you can't open another application. Nice little trick they're using. Let's take a look at Apple. Let's take a look at Tesla. Apple and Tesla coming down here right out the gates. Tesla already did a VWAP fade down back to the low of the range. Hope someone was able to nail that one. I'm looking at Apple here, already down to the low of the range. I know a lot of people were looking at Apple for longs today. That was a good short. VWAP fade right out the gates there, back down towards 156.50 on an important level here. And if it takes out the lows, the SPY during the 410s, you could probably see Apple start breaking down here. See if I can start getting data to be kind of correct here. All right. Still getting some slow data there. I don't know why my computer's been so laggy today.
Yeah, you're not the only one. There are other traders out there having issues with their machine.
Chrome's a crazy memory eater. Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah, it is.
I have 32 gigabytes, guys, and it takes usually sometimes when I have like all these windows open, half of it. I'm like, Joe, if someone had 16 gigabytes, they would not even be able to use their computer now.
I have 64 and sometimes wish I had more. It's just how it goes.
Yeah, I don't have any more slots, so I need a new motherboard so I can fit more.
You need bigger chips, then. That's what you need.
Yeah, man. I only got like the 4 slots of 8, so.
TTI getting called here in the chat. TTI at highs here.
That's what it was.
Really
I didn't pay the miners. Ryan.
Uh-oh.
The miners in the basement, you know? I keep them in the basement to keep them cool, at least.
To keep them cool.
Use Edge. I use Edge for the music that we use. So I try not to confuse the two platforms so that the music kind of stays the same level, that you don't hear Ryan coming in. There's so many things that I'm dealing with here, guys. So I'll try to do my best. Let's just keep doing it. AMD rejecting again that 90. We're going to keep watching. This is sideways action here. Could take out the 89s on the downside. Anything above 90s could really get us a nice little squeezy type look. Let's take a look at NVIDIA.
Looks like it's curling here.
Same look on NVIDIA there. Sideways action. We'll see if that kind of gets moving there. What you got there? SONA?
SNOA. Looks like it's curling here. The question is, will it keep moving?
Blue Apron holding on to those 4s right now. Tried to go through that 390. We want to look for a move back above 410. That could get the stock moving. We'll see what happens on there. There's AMD heading down towards the lows there. Definitely wish I would have taken one kind of trade today, but I'm still a little bit lagging here. I'm just waiting. I'll take some trades. I know I am, but I'm just going to be waiting and just try to be patient. Twitter. Trying to see if Twitter holds on to 49 also. SPY coming back towards VWAP, so we could get a little upside move now, but we'll see what happens, really. I want to see the SPY actually make a move here instead of just being choppy. And it's been choppy, and we know how that kind of helps us out or doesn't help us out. It just goes ahead and chops us out here. We'll see what happens there. All right, so let's start paying attention to what's moving into the green, what's moving into the red. Now you got consumer cyclical in the red, technology in the red, and defensives in the red. What is in the green? Energy, basic materials, and utilities. Basic materials, what is moving there? Let's find out. Coal now up into the green. BTU up a little bit there, guys. We'll see if coal starts moving back there. Was it just a pullback, a measured pullback, and now we're seeing that lift? You can see it in a lot of the coal names. We'll see if the trend continues today. Silver up a good amount too, just to kind of mention.
So real quick, we're talking about TTI. TTI at highs here. Jessica saying, Ryan, I'm not sure on the volume TTI, but it's all green on the 5-minute. Volume was good out of the open here. It seems to be drying up. We're going to need this to really have volume for this to keep moving. I might have the juice here. VAX through 7, VAXX through 7 here. This one in memory of Zunaid, this one way too spready for me to jump in, but this thing's moving here. 7 break. We're printing 730 right now. So pretty good move there on VAXX. Again, TTI here. What's with Boomer Bus is asking what's with TTI. Big run here out of the open. It had earnings last night. It looks like, but no news as of this morning. So that looks to be the move here. Again, we need this volume to stay up for this to continue to be in play. You guys are saying HCDI. I took that off my screen here. That was on earlier. Man, VAX really moving here. Should have taken that one. Way too spready for me to get in, though.
All right, it's going to be very important what happens here on the Qs and what happens on the SPY. The Qs are fighting. Everything's fighting below the VWAP. We want to see either a move above for it to start giving us that upside look. If not, downside action is what I'm seeing right now. We'll see what happens if we do get the turn down or turn up here. Really, I think it's going to be very important in these next about 5 minutes here. We're at what? 9:45, about to get towards that 10 o'clock where we get those little swings. Let's see what happens.
I'm looking to try and get some of that lift here.
Eye on Q, coming out of favor. That's all that happened there. Energy having another good day there. Trying to look at some of those names. BORR is doing well. It's up there towards 420. I remember when we were looking at this one, we were looking at it down towards 320. That thing eventually went to $5. What a move there. Should have been playing that one. That was a monster move there.
SNOA completed that curl, by the way, here. If you see, we're moving higher here. So that busted through that VWAP, and we're moving higher here, SNOA. Stopped at 410 here. Stopped at 410. We'll see if we can. 440 is your pre-market high. I think if this volume stays in, we'll probably attack that. VWAP 390, so we're kind of yanking it back here towards the VWAP. See if we can get some footing here. Big bid there at 4. Wonder if that holds. They're on it. They ate it and it's below now. That's why we wait and see if that holds, folks. Took it right back above there. So acting strong here. Acting pretty good. SNOA. Another pull here right beneath 4. This is okay. So this is back and forth here.
All right. AMD looks like it's about to get wiped out on the downside. I'm taking a look at it here. Starting to get my data to come back, but I'll let you guys know if I get into it. Still haven't gotten into it. Would want to short at the 80s, 89, 90s. That's where I wanted to get short. So let's see if we get a little pop here to short off the 90 mark. SPY looking like it wants to take out the lows. There it goes, heading down there. So that's why I'm looking at the AMD, and also the Q's probably heading down towards the low there. Yeah, you can see it breaking down there. So I'm looking at AMD to see if we could get short here. But it needs to be off the VWAP. VWAP is around 89.80s. So we're looking for a little bounce there. We just got a little bounce towards 66, but I'm looking for a bounce into 80s here.
SNOA, you really yanked it after that run back up. We'll see where it finds the bottom here. I'm going to wait for this to find the bottom. I'm not going to try to catch a knife today. You
don't like playing with knives, man? We listen to our mom?
Not this early in the morning. DVN really bouncing here off that 59.50 level. Another energy. So TTI we talked about, looked like that was energy. DVN here, energy. He's reported earnings last night. So that seems to be the move so far. SNOA continues to sell off here, 375. Looks like it's trying to find its footing.
All right, trying to get short here on AMD, up at 89.80s here. Order out there. Went to 77. There you go. I just got filled there, guys. Going to risk off 90.20s here. If I do get stopped out, it could be a kind of reversal type of trade. So let's see what happens here. Above 90s is where I'll definitely get a little bit of a question. Above 90s, a close up there is where we want to get out. That'll start getting us towards the upside look. The real thing is, does the SPY take out the lows? And we went down on the SPY there, but we're coming back here. We'll see what happens here. Do we get back towards the VWAP or do we take out the lows?
Man, this VAX is crazy. This is it took that it's highs again. I have a high at 792, not from yesterday, but from the day before, from the session before, so Friday. Man, it is just really moving here. This is tough for me to trade. I generally like things that are a little bit more easy to enter, but man,
keeping a close eye here, guys. See what happens.
SOUN curling. Jake called it out here in the chat. We're absolutely getting a curl on SOUN. VAX is halted now. Man. Put sweep on snap I see going through.
All right, just got that close right back down below 90s there. That's a good level to take a look at. There you go, coming back down there towards the 60s here. Let's see if we take out 89.27 on the downside.
Chris is saying, seeing VIX and SPY both down tells you how this market behaves. Cannot argue with that at all.
That is a good comment there.
Cannot argue with that at all. It's just, it's wild here. So S&P 500 here about flat.
We'll see what happens here.
I think Ron was on that earlier. Ron, were you the one that shouted out ENVX? That's moving here, holding up here by highs. See if I can find Ron's comment here. I'm pretty sure that was, yep, ENVX from Ron.
All right, there's AMD pushing. It's about to stop me out. There you go. It stopped out. At least it should get stopped out there. There it is. Dang, you can see my things just lagging there. I'm happy I went in there with very low sizing. The lag is serious today on my platform. There, finally out there. 920s. Not a bad loss there because of the share size, but the SPY is actually down at the lows there. Definitely getting some lag here. It's kind of annoying. Could flip.
Ryan, what is your opinion in the fair value of GME? 50,000 a share? I mean, maybe $5 a share. Definitely not 50,000 a share. Not a GME bull at all. Not a GME bull at all.
Dude, just ask yourself, when's the last time you bought something at GameStop?
I can't remember the last time I seen a GameStop.
I see them all around.
I
just don't buy anything.
I don't. Yeah, I wouldn't go to GameStop for my video games.
Most people just order it on Amazon now.
Or direct download from the company.
Yeah, or direct download, and then that's even worse, to tell you the truth. That ends all the kind of strength that these kind of game sellers had. Long run, all games will probably just come out on the cloud. Unless they do something different. They still haven't really gotten into the NFT game. They should have already had like an NFT platform. They're slacking.
Apron, good shout there, Boom. Apron trading back up here into this level. Really, I think it needs to take out 420. 420 to 430 seems to be that area of resistance in here.
Lost about $20 on that AMD. Nothing much there, but taking a look at Apron.
Where's Lynn Williams? Where's Lynn Williams?
There's the 410 mark
out of the open and is ripping now. So if you're trading Tesla, hopefully you're hitting that.
There's a 410 mark there for Blue Apron there. I do like that mark here. Looking for a little pullback here. Below 409 to jump in there and risk off the fours here for Blue Apron. Let's see if we get it. Just a quick dip to like, let's say like 407, then it comes blowing through there. That's what I'm looking for.
HDCI, yeah, not a lot going yet, although this could easily change. I'm checking out a lot of tickers here from the chat.
There's Blue Apron up there towards 418s now. 419s, 420. Now it's starting to really push there. 423s. We'll see if it comes back there. But for me, I missed the 410 breakout. So I'm waiting to see if we get a pullback. Let's take a look at some of the other charts out there. Energy still leading us. Basic materials behind that. Then utilities. So it looks like a downside action day, even though I still haven't gotten that clear kind of wipeout of technology. At least some of these semiconductors definitely still holding on. Qs haven't taken out the lows. Let's take a look at the SPY. SPY's actually right there by VWAP, even though we're seeing some of these stocks like energy, basic materials on up. So it might be just holding the market. I talked about that last time, how when basic materials washed out, That's when I saw the market really come back down. And oil was coming down at the same time too. When that happens, we see everything come back down, and then it starts getting crushed. That's what I saw in energy when we were starting to have this retrace in energy and retrace in basic materials. That's when we were really getting crushed in the SPY. Today, those are up, and what do you see? You see the SPY kind of sideways. And so what does that show me? That, yeah, more than likely, these are the stocks that are holding the market up right now. It's not the bigger stocks. It's not Apple. It's not Tesla. It's more than likely for me, at least from what I've been seeing, the rotation. Every time these stocks are at the top, the SPY is kind of hanging sideways. Yeah, when we have drives on up, what leads us? It's tech. So we can always look at that. When we have those huge move on ups, what are we going to be looking for? We're going to be looking at the tech names. When we have sideways day like these, I'm going to be looking more at energy and basic materials. Jason, MOS, impressive red to green. Perfect example, right? Now you got that into the green. Let's look at the Scott's Miracle-Gro one that we were looking at. Maybe we get a red to green off of that.
Did Mosaic just have earnings?
Yes, they had it yesterday.
Yeah, okay.
I'm looking at that SMG here for a potential swing trade here off 100. I don't mind taking this one for a swing trade. It's going to be lower share size because it's, higher price stock here. Let's look for a 101 entry, risking off of 100. So literally only a point of risk here. I'll actually put a 101.05s. See if I can get that fill there. I don't think I'll get the fill, but I'll put it out there. We'll see what happens. Stocks that are doing well in this industry today, you got MOS, of course. You also got RKDA, you got Seed, NTR. Are some of these. We'll see if these can kind of get moving. And also CF likes to move with MOS. So take a look at CF as it's lagging right now and following MOS. Son VWAP test is Jay Wild. We'll see what happens there. Martin's looking at Tesla, potentially for a long.
Let's take a look at SOU, and I'll bring that up here on my screen. Yep.
How's that doing there? It's
above VWAP, at least here on TradingView. We got to have it hold above.
That doesn't look too bad there. One of the things is it's had a couple of drives already in the pre-market. So hourly support came into play here. Resistance was around 1437, and it went down right now towards 1413s. Doesn't look too bad though. SPY is trying to go into the green here and get up to 415s there. We'll see if tech gets into the green. There you go. Now it's starting to get into the green. Remember earlier I mentioned how tech had to get into the red. Now we're seeing consumer defensive real estate and consumer cyclical in the red, and tech start going into the green. What is leading it? Leading it is solar, actually. This is an interesting play there. Array having a 9% day, run up 5%. SunPower up about 3%, JKS. So a lot of these solar names making moves today. Take a look at the Qs. Qs probably pushing towards the top there. Yeah, pushing towards the top of the range there.
Blue Apron trying to take out that area, that resistance area, trying to trade up to that 439 level. That was the high of yesterday's pre-market, it looks like.
Still no fill there for SMG. Taking a look at it, I have the order out, but it's just sitting there. And I hate when orders just sit there. You know why? Because a lot of times when I have these orders that just sit there, Ryan, I don't know about you if you do those equity ones. When I feel like they sit there, you know what happens? Market maker come and just take my shares, man.
Yeah, it depends what it's for.
I hate when it's just sitting there.
If I have a plan, if I have like a plan that's longer than 5 minutes for the actual hold, I don't necessarily mind putting the orders out there. But when you're getting in and out, generally speaking, I like to use markets to get out.
Yeah, it was funny. As soon as I pulled off my order there, off the active order, the bid was out for 101, right? And as soon as I pulled my order off there, it went immediately back towards 101.30s. And so that just shows me I don't want to be putting my order out there. The spread opened up on someone there. It went as far as almost 70 cents. So I'm just gonna stay off from SMG. I hate stocks that have that big of a range on the spread. What does that show you? Low liquidity, and so I'm gonna stay away. All right, let's take a look somewhere else. Coal up now 3.5%. BTU up about 3.8. We'll see if these can get moving. They're definitely catching a bid today. How's the boil doing? Boil
Oh
trying to
gosh,
push
how's the
through the
Widowmaker
106.
doing?
It's at 106. I am going to be, these are those opportunities that literally I smack myself for, guys. Because I was looking at this when it was back down in the 30s and now 106. And it was a kind of a giving catalyst, right? With the war going into it. I think this was definitely one that you could have taken a big swing on.
ENVX big pop here. Wow.
Which
Ron,
one?
hope you caught that. ENVX.
ENVX. We'll take a
Ron
look.
hitting CTLT. Ron, I'm curious if you hit this pop on ENVX. It really took out that entire formation at 1095. Oh my gosh, that is such a big pop. Not in it though. Missed that one.
Fubo continuing today. I had that one at 4 yesterday. Sold it a little earlier. Roku pushing on up there, so we'll see what happens here. SMG already pushing up there towards the VWAP. I'm going to leave it alone. I don't like the spread, but it is starting to get a little lift there. We'll see what happens on that one. Even Genius Brand's moving up, man. Looks like a little bit of a growth day here starting to come in. SPY trying to push up past the 416 now. Definitely another trappy day in the SPY. Wouldn't you know it? Let's take a look at the VIX there. Down to 35s. I'm watching the 32 level. I want to see if the 32 level breaks. Us being up at the 40s, that's definitely not where we want to be at. So right now, let's see what happens on the VIX. But right now, it is up there towards 35.
Yeah, Ron, you're still in ENVX. Awesome. Nice job there on that one.
There you go, Jay. Make those quick bucks. Natural gas going nuts right now, says Beach Bum Trading. We miss Zunaid. Someone get him a horse paste. What? Bill, I don't understand your alternative medicines.
He's slandering ivermectin.
Oh, there you go. You see, I don't understand some things sometimes. Sound.
That's what I'm here for. I'm here.
Sound the alarm. You get it? Sound the alarm. Haha. Let's keep going, guys. Let's see what's going on out there. Right now, I'm seeing energy lead, basic materials coming back today, all in the green right now. So definitely not a bad bounce back day for basic materials here. What else is moving out there? I don't find anything to trade right now, but Arch doesn't look that bad. That one's held pretty well for a coal stock, even though it pulled back a couple days, has been coming on up there, trying to break out through the 171s. We'll see what happens on that one. BTU. What's going on in my BTU? Up there towards 22.25, looking for a pullback towards VWAP. Haven't gotten it yet. SPY still haven't pushed through that 416. It feels like a very boring type of stock day for me, but that just might be me because I'm not trading towards the upside right now. If you guys see anything out there, we'll see what happens. AMR, says Jay. I'll take a look at it. Why not? I'm not doing much. AMR, yeah, that actually looks like a pretty decent move in a coal player. Take a look at
nice
the daily.
trade, Ron.
Yeah, I like the daily there on AMR. That one's probably holding up the best there, even though BTU has been our leader. AMR is a good looking chart there. Not a bad find there, Jay. So I appreciate you bringing that one up. Not a bad stock there at all. ARLP trying to push through 19 today. We'll see what happens there. All right, so now utilities into the red now. What is moving on up? Technology, almost past energy, almost leading us now. And what has gotten stronger? Solar stocks still pushing, guys. We just talked about some of these, but Run, Array, Nova, SunPower, a lot of these solar names are really pushing up and holding us up, really. I mean, up 4% for the industry and nothing up 2%. Electronic gaming and multimedia also not having a bad day, so you can take a look at some of those. Roblox, Unity, those types of plays are making moves on up right now.
Ron out of ENVX, nice job. Let's check on Apron. Someone else has mentioned Charvy saying Apron is pushing. Apron is pushing, going towards that level here. Maybe we can get one on Apron. Let's see.
That 410 today would have been nice on Apron. I just missed the breakout there. I should have set an alert, but I never got it through the 409s. 410 was the area yesterday. Remember, I even stopped out yesterday at 4 on the pullback. So I thought it was really good at the 410 level. It just kind of pushed on through there.
Apron taking out that 439 level. Here we go. Not in it. A little bit of a pullback here. A little bit of, they took that spot out and then they yanked it here. So I think if we need to really get it back above that for this to kind of build here. We'll see if they end up doing that.
A bad day for DraftKings, up 3%. RSI about 2.8. I haven't taken a look at Penn, but feeling like it's up. There you go.
All right,
It's not
Apron on
looking too
round
bad.
2 here. We'll see if this ends up working.
All right, Ryan, I'm going to go get some orange juice so I can get the swag going and the pinky up. I'll be right back.
All right. We're watching Apron here trying to take out 438. There it goes. Let's see if they yank it again. They might. Yep, here comes the yank. Let's see if they hold this here. Nope. Okay, I'm gonna close that until it sets up again. EAVM pushing to highs here. Actually, one of the traders that I really respect is talking about this one on his list. So we'll watch. See, big spot here at 150. It'll be interesting to see if they take that. Yeah, big offer here. Big offer here. Looking at the time and sales, see if there are any big orders here. We'll see. Roland, did you miss something that I said? Sorry about that. If I went too fast for you there. I tried to scalp Apron, but it didn't keep pushing. We'll bring that up here real quick. Sorry about that. Oh, there we go. Now it is pushing. Of course. I just wasn't patient enough. That's all. Just wasn't patient enough right through this. See, what's making this more difficult is they keep clearing out the spot and then adding more stock to sell there. So it actually brings the price back down beneath it. Feels like it wants to go higher here, but I don't want to be in it and have it just yank back on me. That would see, and here it is. Here's the pull that we were here. This is exactly what I was trying to avoid. So I don't feel so bad now taking the small loss there. Basically just kind of flipped a share. Nice bidder there at 431 on Apron. If that can hold, maybe we can build above and then go higher. We'll see. Looking at the overall market here, SPY is up, although we did just pull here. You can see that being reflected in Apple as well. We're still up though.
Ryan, sound the alarm. I'm bringing in the reinforcements.
Why did you just show me a box of Krispy Kremes?
Got to open it up, take the seal off, because the seal got to come off, you know. COVID seals nowadays. Oh, yeah, baby.
Oh, my God. Those heart attack rings look so good.
Who wants one? I know I do.
I know you do.
Hit the like, baby. D-Nut today? Is D-Nut moving?
Oh, someone asked if I can't remember who it was. Who was out there that asked for the 8-ball on the Qs today? Who was that? I skipped over that, but we can do that again.
Yeah, we got to do it. We got to do it. D-Nut.
Oh,
D-Nut. Nope, not even.
Yeah. So how's D-Nut doing today? I can see there are several
much.
people. There are several people in the chat that looks like they could go for a Krispy Kreme. D-Nut hanging out here, not really doing it.
Let's go. Let's go. I had to turn myself up. I said, you know what? I'm going to get some donuts, a little orange juice.
I like how you head faked us with the orange juice and the pinky up and all that. You said a lot of stuff and then you pulled an audible and brought in Krispy Kremes. So that was a good move right there. I like that.
Yeah, just a little hint, guys. They have some good discounts right now. You got to check them out. Nothing like sugar in the morning, right?
Man.
Oh, I gotta get a donut. Oh,
Yeah, the X still strong here. That was the play today. It wasn't in the right one this morning. ENVX was the play.
hell yeah! Krispy
Shout
Kreme.
out to Ron for hitting it.
Shout out to Ron. Shout out to Krispy Kreme. Shout out to everybody. Let's go.
Mitch gets a little sugar in him in the morning. He becomes the
See what
happiest
happens?
person that there is. All right.
See what happens.
I don't remember who was asking about the SPY or the Qs, but Rafif, hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. You are asking a lot about Facebook. Okay. So let's go ahead and find out. Will Facebook fall today? I have a few puts. Any takes on Facebook? What do you think? Okay. 8-Ball. Will Facebook fall today? Let's see what we get here. Outlook good. So according to the 8-Ball, Rafif, it looks like Facebook is going to fall today. Let's see if you end up believing the magic 8-Ball. We shall see. Looks like Mitch triggered people that are on a diet by showing them Krispy Kremes. I know how that goes. Believe me, I want one too, but I don't think I should have one.
Cheat meal, cheat day, baby.
RDBX looks like it's at the lows. Don't see a tradable setup here in RDBX yet. That could change. We'll see though. That's been a popular one lately. I believe in the 8-Ball, says Rafif. Well, we good then, my man. We good. Mitch, here's really the only question. Do you dunk your donuts in coffee?
It depends. Honestly, depends. Sometimes, like, I feel like I do that more often when I'm at a place than when I'm at home. For some reason, when I'm at home, I'm just like kind of drinking my coffee and eating the donut at the same time, kind of thing, left and right hand. But I mean, right now, I mean, one of the things that I like to do when I eat a lot of sugar is have something that's not so sweet. So right now, I'm more, rocking a little orange juice on the side here, and then that kind of washes it down, the sugar, a little OJ with the sugar.
I can't recall a time where I've been somewhere and I've seen somebody dunking a donut in coffee. I don't do that. I don't want to do that. I just want the donut. Or
is that like pineapple on pizza?
Don't even start. I don't even want to get into the pineapple on pizza. I'm allergic to pineapple. I think it's a vile weed. The fact that people put it on a perfectly good pizza and ruin it doesn't make any sense to me. Apparently, this is a hot button topic across the internet. To me, this is an easy one. Don't put pineapple on anything.
All right, just to kind of mention there, guys, what does the SPY hit today, guys? Exactly the level we talked about in the pre-market. It's 416.29, and where do we go to? 416.27. I'm sorry, I was off by 2 ticks there. But that's what we're going to be watching to see if we get back above both of these hitting right around that level and then quick turnaround towards the downside. Now we should see a little bit of that downside action. We're going to look to see if it breaks 413 because right now it's kind of just more in a chop zone. Let's see what happens there. AMD is up there towards 92. NVIDIA up there towards 197. Let's look at Apple here. Apple, another thing that came from the bottom up there towards the top of the range. Let's see what happens. Do we get a breakout of these range? And so what I would take a look at is I would take a look at the 15-minute candles, and you're looking for either a break of the low or a break of the high there on the SPY. We'll see what happens there, and let's keep it going there. Pineapple does not belong on pizza. No sweets ever. Oh, good Lord, man. Is that orange juice something that is not so sweet? Money Mitch legit punishing us with those donuts. Hey, man, you got to enjoy it. That's what it's all about. Word is Joe DiMaggio was seen there dunking. Hey, We'll see what happens there. Taking a look there also today at MGM, guys. You guys know how I like to do a little bit of betting, and I'm waiting for MGM to spin off MGM bets. That's really the move that I want to see, because that's where I put in my bets, guys. That's where a lot of times I'm putting in my bets there, guys. I just won 2 parlays recently. You can see the green there. I try to get my screen up. Let me get a little bigger here so you guys can see. You see the greens there? Baby, there's only one. You see, you lose about 50% of them, but I win a lot of these parlays. Those are all parlays there. 2 losses, 2 wins there, but a good one put in last night there, guys. The Bucks, the Warriors, and the Heat were my NBA picks. So who knows, man? Got to get into that sports betting life. Might make more money.
So speaking of the sports betting, I'm glad that you're winning the parlays. Listen to this, Mitch.
Oh,
I
I'm a
had
parlay
UNC.
man.
I had UNC to win the NCAA tournament. I had a $10
Oh,
bet.
I remember that.
So at halftime, I don't know if you remember, UNC's winning by almost 20 points.
Yeah.
After that half, they gave it all back to Kansas and lost. I have won 1 parlay since that day. UNC choking and having the biggest loss in the history of the tournament, giving up the biggest lead and losing, completely turned my parlay experience upside down. I started my account. I had $97 when I started the account left over from fantasy football. I got that all the way up to 560, and it's back now at 0. And it's just me playing parlays. I absolutely love them. But you know what? I'm going to need a private session. You and I are going to need to talk.
Ryan, what did I tell you about that UNC bet?
You said I should cash it out, and I
said hedge it at. You should have hedged it at the halftime. You should have put some money on the other team. Even $10 would have made you probably a crazy amount at halftime. I'm sure it was like plus 300, plus 400 on the opposite side, because they were down by like, I think it was like 20 points at the half or something like that?
Yeah.
So
yeah, it was crazy.
Sometimes it's okay to secure money in gambling. And that's what I think is when you turn gambling into more of like a strategy approach, right? It's usually always gambling, right? Because we don't know where one side's going to land. But what one side's leading, like even last night, I'm not going to lie, Ryan, I even looked it up. I was like, so how much were they willing to give me if the Heat for some reason aren't going to win tonight? I just had confidence because they had the 76ers didn't have Joel Embiid. But
yeah, let me tell you, the Heat look really strong, man. That team plays defense. Jimmy Butler's here to stay. Real quick, I wanted to address something before you throw up John's comment there.
Yeah,
I wanted to answer this question here from Jason. Jason, this is your first time. Welcome. Hopefully we see you back here. I hope that you like our community. Go ahead and give us a like if you like my answer here.
Yeah, let's answer.
Hi, Ryan and Mitch. Do you guys use a scanner? I did not hear you call out unusual option activity. Just curious how much you use it in your trading. Okay, so if you can see the screen now, this is what I use during the live trading show. When we talk about stocks in the morning prior to the open, I use my movers tab because this is a very, very easy scanner to show me what's gapping up, what's gapping down. I use this to identify key spots on some of those stocks that are setting up in the pre-market. However, when the market opens, I flip over to my scanner tab. So do we use a scanner? Yes, Benzinga Pro. In addition to the lightning fast newsfeed, the Squawk, which I listen to on a regular basis, it also has scanner tools in there, and this is the one that I'm using. It's literally called Scanner. Here are the filters that I'm using for my scanner. You would be more than happy to, or I'm more than happy to share these with you. You can copy them. You can see exactly what I'm seeing in real time. And I'll explain really quickly what I'm looking at here. First of all, the subtype, this is just the stock. Common EDR ETF. I don't really care about warrants, units, funds, or anything like that. So I just stick to the stock universe. That's the default setting. I make no change to it. The 3 filters that I change: volume. I need liquidity. We're talking about scalps here. We're talking about very quick day trades. In order for me to successfully pull this strategy up, the stock needs to be trading high enough volume for me to get in and get out without having the price change because of my order. So I am putting a volume over 1 million shares here. Got to be trading at least 1 million shares on the day. Third, and this is probably the crux of this particular scan, this is a relative volume. And this is not day relative volume that you might be familiar with. In fact, if you mouse over the question mark, it will tell you, it compares the past 5 minutes of volume to the 10-day average volume for the same time period. So for example, If you have a stock that's doing 2x the average volume, or excuse me, an R-vol of 2 at 10:05 a.m. means the stock is doing 2 times the average volume it normally does between 10 and 10:05 a.m. That's important because the lunch hour is much different than the openings and the close. So this scan works all day long for me and in the pre-market. Lastly, I'm a long bias trader. I'm always trying to scalp things to the upside. So I have change percent across 1 minute. So change percent over the past 1 minute, up 0.2%. I'm trying to find, things don't need to be up on the day. I like to take advantage of a stock price that kind of curls. You saw Jay call out a curl earlier. That's what the scanner tries to find. So yes, we absolutely do this. This is the bread and butter of my day trading activity here. I'm watching for unusual volume or relative volume in this case. Now, you also mentioned unusual options. I also have a signals tool right beneath this. And in the signals tool, I watch unusual option activity and halt resume. I kind of just keep an eye on this. If anything stands out, like for example, a sweep with a high number here, maybe I'll take another look at that. But this sweep here is only for 123 contracts. I'm just going to move along. So these are the things that I watch. I hope that's helpful. I hope that answers your question.
All right, we'll see what's going on out there, guys. I'm paying attention to see what we get in the market right now. Energy still leading us. Technology moved from up there. Remember, it almost got towards 1%. I was showing you guys how it's starting to get up there towards the lead next to energy. Now it's back into the red there from the open. And that's how it can happen, guys, really quickly, right back down. And so just be careful out there. Definitely a choppy type of day. And I mean, it's just what we continue to see. Look at the SPY here. What did I talk about? Look at the 15-minute range. And let's wait for it to get out of the high or out of the low of the range. Right now, it's 416.29 on the upside. And on the downside, that's 413.36. I'm looking for either or. Upside, downside, wherever way it goes, we can start trading. But I want the SPY to start trending. Stop doing this choppy game from the top of the range to the bottom of the range. That's easily how day traders just give back their money. Just like, here you go. You can take it, SPY. You can take it. And then the SPY starts trending. And then what happens? They don't have trades because they used it too early in the day. And that can happen with this type of market.
Real quick, let me just answer. John, great question here. What about acceleration? If volume is high but slow moving, does that change your approach? Well, it can, right? So if a stock is not as volatile, if it's not moving as fast, to be honest with you, the way I view that is I have a higher percentage chance of successfully trading that. If the stock isn't moving as fast, maybe I can get closer or more tactical on my entries and exits. Now, the stock has to be moving somewhat, right? I don't want to necessarily sit in a position that's only going to tick up 1 or 2 cents. And in fact, if it turns out if a position does that, sometimes I'll close it and wait for it to set up again when it's moving around a little bit more. That's a really great question. And that's a way that you can kind of alter that and tailor it to your own method of trading. Some people like trading like it's the Wild West, and stocks that move around, they absolutely love that. I'm not as much of a fan of that. I like to be as tactical as possible. So tailor that to your own approach. Good question, though.
All right, just looking around out there to seeing what we got here. It's definitely a slower day. Let's go ahead and get some music on. Normally, I kind of try to figure out when we get a little dull zone here. Let's go ahead. Let's get some music flowing here. Dun, dun, dun. Need some jams, man. Boom, boom. There we go. There you go. Just a little tunes in the background. Airbnb being mentioned in the chat. Boil on, says Hertz. Boil on. Yeah, the teacup is on the heater right there, and it's boiling right there. Boil off. It's up there towards 107 today. Nice little move there. And it was mainly done in pre-market. I find it hard to long stocks like this. So like if you guys were trading this Hertz, maybe you guys talk a little bit about it. But I find it hard to trade stocks like this towards the upside that make huge move pre-market and then don't really test down too much. They test down very slightly and then just come right back up. Those are hard to trade for me. I'll just be honest. I don't think I would have been trading Boyle today off of that. But hey, power to you guys if you guys have been swing trading this and still holding on Boyle.
Jason, I've listened to your interviews. You do an amazing job of explaining it very clearly. Much appreciated. I gotta be honest with you. That's one of the best compliments that I receive. I really appreciate that, Jason. And I'm glad that I was able to help you learn something else. John says, thanks, Ryan. John, you're very welcome. Thanks for all your support, man. We really appreciate you having around. We really appreciate having you around. Excuse me.
Let's go, guys. We'll keep going on here. If you guys got a stock you guys want to take a look at, definitely throw it on up. We're going to keep on going here.
HDCI, or excuse me, HCDI, easy for me to say. Approaching the VWAP here. We'll see if we get a trade through VWAP. 360 is your spot.
Boom, here. I got you up now. Let's go take a look at the apron. How's that doing? 460s now, man. That was a great one, guys. What? I'm kind of a little annoyed I missed that 410.
HCDI through VWAP here.
That 410 didn't get any pressure today through that pop there at 409. Now up there towards 465. If we got in there around 410s, that would be a 13% gain on the day there. So anybody that traded Blue Apron today, good job there, guys. Sticking on a stock chart that was holding the fib retracements really well. Held the 61.8 this morning and took off there towards the 460s.
Going to try HCDI here. Real tight stop, though. Stop right here at VWAP. If we break back down through VWAP, I'm out here. But I want to see if we keep pushing now that we crossed up above it.
All right, guys. Stock that already halted once, looking like it's wanting to halt again, is Hour. I don't know this stock. Don't know anything about it. Ryan, I don't know if you do. But HOUR, Hour Loop, having a strong day today, up about 24% right now. And it did halt once at
430, I believe, was the first halt.
Yep.
Or 438 maybe. Yeah, no, we called this out of the open here. I'm not in this though. So this is when we were just kind of talking about this. We are just talking about, look at that poll. So we were just talking about stocks that move around versus stocks that don't move around very quick. This is the type of action that I'd like to avoid. So we literally just saw this at the high and we saw this get yanked, what, 20 some cents. That's tough for day trading because that immediately shows you a loss on your P&L. And again, we're just, in some of these cases, we're only trying to collect 10, 15, 20 cents to the upside. You can't possibly stomach a 10, 15, 20 cent move to the downside. That's one to run risk. That's gambling at that point.
Hey, what's going on out there, guys? Anyone trading VET? What do you mean by VET?
And about ticker VET, Vermilion Energy, which is up massively today. I'm betting that's what he's referring to.
I thought he meant like veteran. I was like, okay, bet. I don't know that one. Hey, there you go. Nice move on that. That's just straight up, guys. So what does this show me? What does this show me, guys? Is what I'm kind of worried about. And some people are trying to talk about inflation's topping out right now. I think the oil rocketing up today and like these oil stocks coming back just kind of shows you, I don't think the inflation's done. I think what is done is the first round of inflation that came from the supply chains. Now you're going to get, I think, the war inflation to really start paying into our kind of economy, whether that be in oil and energy, whether that be natural gas, whether that be steel, wood, a whole bunch of things, food products starting to show inflation. I think what you just started seeing, we just kind of finished that supply chain issue that was with COVID. And now you're starting to see what the war inflation, at least I feel, and then I think it's just about to just get started. At least I know in Europe, they're all preparing for a crazy energy bill that's coming from April. And I think it's just starting there. We'll see what happens out there, guys. Put Facebook at 211, target 202. We'll see what happened there. All right, let's go towards a vet. I thought he meant Corvette. Not a bad one. Hurts. I can see that one. SPY up there at 415. Still hasn't taken out the 416.29. I'm just waiting for that, guys. I told you guys. And this is why I wanted to wait for the low of the day break, because it even went in the last, like at 10:15. It went down to 413.78, but it didn't break that 413.36. And so I'm looking for either levels to actually break out or break down. And so until we get below that, I'm just kind of in a wait because I feel like the stocks are going to move in a certain direction after that. And so I've been seeing this common look at Clorox up today. Nice move after the earnings. It's actually up higher than the earnings. It's a weird one to take a look at. So earnings knocked it down, and now it's up higher than those earnings. So
good HYMC
today. HYMC.
Really popping here, not in it.
Oh, there you go. I don't mind this one. So let's take a look at the ultimate bottom here for me. That's 133 pullback. So I'm gonna look for 138s here. Doesn't look too bad, but remember, this one can move, but it also has some big resistance above it. I think it has some room to 150s here. And then from there, I think 165 is the next resistance on up. We'll see what happens there. It's at 144. Definitely trading higher share size there. They saw 9,000 shares traded at 43s. So we'll see what happens there. Let's see if AMC starts moving off of this too, right? Because it could just be sympathy off the AMC move. I actually like AMC a little bit better here for a VWAP bounce type of trade here. I'm going to look for a little pullback here to 91 and then coming back through 92s. But I do want to get closer towards that 91 because VWAP is around 90-70 there. So I definitely need to get closer towards that entry.
Which way? I'm still watching ANY here. Big spot at 158. It looks like they're chomping it. I'm tempted to try this here.
Yeah, Missy, that's what I've been paying attention to. I've been paying attention to the European inflation, and I think that's just going to transition over here, whether that be because of, like kind of price pressures, a whole bunch of different things that could come there. But to me, that's what I'm watching. I've clearly seen the European kind of head leadership talk about how it's going to be a really rough summer and I think that leads into what? A really rough winter in energy. So honestly, to say that inflation's topping out, I think that you're just trying to call the bottom, but we'll see what happens. My thing is, I think I have to see the economical factors changing first.
And don't forget, they sold all of the coal for next year already. So if it's going to be a cold year, you can expect coal prices to rise again. We might have some opportunity there, but that just kind of goes to it being rough next winter.
Yeah, there's a SPY rejecting again from breaking out above 416.29. And this is why I'm waiting, guys. This is why I'm not animate for the trades today.
ANY through 159, long at 159. Here we go. ANY. I'm gonna take mine here, and hopefully this sets up again. I got a high here at 164, break at 159 there, out at 164. High here is 164. That sets up again. We'll try to hit that. Nice little scalp there.
All right, so it looks like IonQ got a short report put on there. So I know that some people were asking about IonQ. Of course, Chris Ketchy coming on in and letting me know that's the man of the hour. If you guys don't follow Chris Ketchy, I don't know what you're doing in life.
You're doing it wrong if you don't follow Chris.
Yeah, no, literally, I pay attention to a lot of things what Chris tells me, and it's not necessarily that I trade off of things that Chris tells me, but he gives me the catalyst. It's like having a Benzinga Pro, but even better, I would say.
Well, I'm not going to say it's better than Benzinga Pro, but I love Chris, and he's.
You know why I would say it's better, Ryan? Because he puts the information in there a lot of the times. He's putting in the articles. Okay, well, so that's why I would say it's better, because I get it quicker than that, man. I mean,
touche.
There's not many people that got access to the Chris Ketchy life.
Touche. So any out of this, but this is moving here. This is not. Look at the volume stick here. Oh, here.
SPY pushing. Just want to put that alert on there because we've been waiting for this break there. That's the break that I was looking for. Now I can trade towards the upside. Let's look at stocks that are near the VWAP and trading towards the upside. So NVIDIA is one that I like right off the back. Looking for 95.55s here. Let's see if I can get it.
Real quick, just to visualize the trade. Remember, we are out of this trade right now. I am not in this. Here's the visualization of the trade, okay? So any strong morning, we're not really interested in it because the volume is really low, right? When we get this little bit of a pullback, this is normal stock behavior. It pushed up to 159. I saw that there was a huge offer there. They tried to pull it, but immediately bought it back. So to me, that says, well, they're going to make an attempt at that. I'm going to go along for the ride. Bought at 159, spike up here. I closed it at 164, bought it again for another pop. So collected a total of, I think, 7 cents here. So again, in 2 trades, you could have done that in 1 trade. I'm trying to mitigate my risk, get in and out when I feel good. This, I would not be surprised if we push higher here today. Would not be surprised if 170 is attacked, and if we pop above that, perhaps we'll have another trade here. But this is a visualization of that trade. Look at the volume stick. Look at the size of this volume stick. This is what we're looking for, folks. This is a recipe for success down here.
All right, I'm looking for trades here. The only problem that happened to me is that it just got off the VWAP really quickly there. So I was looking at NVIDIA to get it at 95.55s, and it's already there at 96.50s. Just moved really quickly there for me. I would have had to jump in at 95.80s, and it was about 30 cents off where I wanted my entry to be. So I'm waiting for the pullback here, but it is looking strong here. I got to keep an eye out on the SPY because it needs to hold that 416.29 on pullbacks. We just held it once. Looking for it to take it out and then come back up through 417s. That'll just show us the strong side, and the technology is starting to lead us and get towards the top there. Also, just to kind of keep in mind, basic materials continuing to move on up, coal moving on up. We'll see how that kind of changes here if we start getting a push. Looking for some pullbacks. Everything hit the VWAP and then bounced already. So I'm looking to see right here what we can take here.
Speaking of VWAP bounce, take a look at ENVX, or just throw up my screen.
I can take a look at it right quick.
Look at that
there you
VWAP
go.
bounce.
Nice VWAP bounce there.
So maybe this has some more room. Maybe this keeps going. Looks like it already kind of went off on the. I'm watching on the 1 minute. FYI.
No, you're good. I'm just looking at the daily to see where the daily prior support was. So prior support was around the 1250s. Where do I see kind of some more resistance also? Around this 12 level. So we're right where we rejected today. So that's the level that I'd be watching right now to see if we can get back above. 12 is going to be an important price point. If you do get through there, I think you get to 1250s. That's not a bad one to take a look at. A&D pulling back here. That might be the one that, oh, there you go. I finally got NVIDIA to pull back enough here. All right, just took a started there. Looking to add on NVIDIA here towards 195.
Nice.
And then we're going to look for the move back up through 197. The big thing for us here is going to be watching the SPY, right? And so we could put the SPY here on the left-hand side. We could put NVIDIA and AMD side by side here. That's what I would do. So we're looking for it to kind of hold here. Hold at the VWAP. It's okay if it comes back to 195. I'm willing to add there, but I want to give a little bit of an entry here just in case I'm getting a nice little spot here for it to come right back on up through the levels. The big thing for us is watching that SPY, right? And so look how we get above that 416.29, but then now rejecting it. We need to get back above that 416.29 to see the continuation upside. Going to get an ad down here by 195s. Trying to get a fill here. Let you know if I get a fill there. No fill to add yet. SPY coming on down there too. We don't want to see it break back below those numbers. So if you look at the 5 minute, I wouldn't want it to break that last 5 minute low. That's 415.18. There, got the ad there now, guys. At 195.45 average here. Risk is going to be down there towards the 5. This right over on here, 195. We want to see it not close below there on this 3 minutes. Needs to get back into here, 196.25s.
go through the chat. Ryan,
Let's do it.
Statue challenge. Sorry, I got focused here, Jessica. I try not to do that. I try not to do that, and I appreciate the call out because it breaks me from what I'm doing. I'm literally staring at numbers and chat.
Yeah, guys, I'm sorry we don't have the YOLO man. The YOLO man keeping us awake. Zunaid usually is quick action trader there, and yeah, we'll get him back on. He'll be back, guys.
Yeah, I love YOLO options. I've never really been successful with them. I feel like for me, I'm more successful trading the stock. I try to do that too, but sometimes I just get locked in there. Thanks, Jessica, for breaking me back.
Yeah, Jessica, I'll keep that in mind. You know, one of the things is we did talk about that small account challenge. We'll probably get into that, but right now we've been doing so many things. Like I'm going to VCon, we got the FinTwit conference. We just got so much going on, but we will get to that.
And let's talk a little bit about the small account challenge, because I see a lot of people talking about that 25K level. So, okay, a couple of things. So first of all, I fairly recently, 2 years ago, went through my own small account challenge. I had an account when I first started trading. I had an account that was an IRA account, and it was in my mom's name. So what was great about that is I didn't have to worry about capital gains. I did a lot of practicing. I did a lot of development. I did a lot of strategizing. I did a lot of building for my own trading system in an environment where I didn't have to worry about capital gains, and I really didn't need to take money unless I really, really needed that money. And I had a higher balance. Clearly, it was a day trading account. When I moved to my own account, when I really wanted to kind of take this over and do more of this on my own, I broke away from that, and I was like, well, I've been trading this for so long, I should be able to start with $4,000 or $5,000 and trade it up to 25K, couple of weeks, no problem. That shouldn't be a big deal. Well, let me tell you, it did not go as smoothly as planned, and it never does. And I think that that's one of the things that I want to mention here. When you have a smaller account, there are absolutely limitations that you're going to have to work through. A lot of the times people will talk about, only use 2% of your account in any given trade so you don't get blown out. And that's really good advice, but really not practical if your account's only $2,000 or $3,000. So there are a lot of things that you're going to kind of have to figure out on your own. Sorry, Mitch, go ahead.
No, you're good. I'm out of NVIDIA. Just came down way too much. Broke that low here on the SPY there that I was looking at it on the 5-minute. And it just, again, what is it showing? Another chop moment here for the SPY.
And I think you're going to see chop until we get some FOMC clarity, by the way. Yeah. So Jessica, I'm reading your comment here. Is there anyone on YouTube that actually shows their progress for that sort of thing? It's so aggravating seeing everyone who's already past that point saying that you just have to get through it. When they say that you just have to get through it, what that means is that like being able to day trade is one thing. It makes you feel safer, but you're not actually safer, because a lot of the times you're putting on a tremendous amount of risk in an asset that's going to move around very quickly, and you can very, very easily take losses. Don't think that once you hit 25K, everything's over. In fact, you know what I've seen a lot of people do? I did it myself the first time. Once I actually got to 25K, it was like 25.5. I was like, okay, I'm good. 3 day trades close below 25K. I'm out now. So when you start doing this, always shoot for higher than 25K, because not every trade is going to work. And if you're in a position where you feel like I can't take a loss, I can't take a loss, you're going to be doomed to take a loss. And you're really going to set yourself up for taking the mother of all losses, which wipes you out. So it's different for everybody. My best advice is go slower. Go slower. Don't necessarily day trade. You're going to have 3 in a rolling 5-day window. Don't feel compelled to use that. Instead, wait for the setups. Focus more on your process. You're going to hear Mitch talk about that a lot on any show that Mitch is on. Focus on your process, slow it down, look for things that you can take on one day and hopefully have a plan that materializes the next day so that you don't actually have to day trade. Once you start getting a little bit more confident and consistent in your plan, then you're going to end up getting through that 25K barrier, and you're going to be able to open your toolbox a little bit more. I know it sucks. You can also open up a cash account. We've talked about that. We've talked about that quite a bit. I know it sucks, but you have to deal with it, and you have to not try to go so fast. Everyone wants to be wealthy. You only need to get rich once, so don't blow it trying to be a hero and doing it too quick.
Yeah, what I would say is there's two things here, right? There's I want to get to 25,000 so I could get out of the PDT rule. And then there's I want to be into the profits, right? So there's two things there that I think they're very separate. And so being into the profit and then being above the day trading account or the PDT rule is another kind of game here. So what I would focus on is what being profitable, not focusing on getting over that PDT rule. Because if you can prove to be profitable with a smaller account, continuously trade, let's say for longer than, let's say like a year, and you can show that you're profitable, then from that moment, what I would recommend there is now you start saving up and trying to have that PDT account, not making your way there, but essentially starting to figure out how can I change my own lifestyle to get towards that account that I need to start trading bigger. But the big thing there is that you already know that you have the skills to put that money to test and then see if you could be profitable with that kind of money, with that kind of sizing. And so that's what I'd say focus on first. Learn to be profitable. And like always, I always say that the first thing to do is learn survival. Survival first, learn to profit small, and then you can profit big. It's very, very hard to get through that first level first, which is survival, which meaning that you're going to win and lose. You're going to see that kind of equity going up and down. And what do? You don't break your rules. You don't break your discipline. You don't blow up on one trade. You don't hold a bag to it just deletes your account. That's when you're going to start seeing, okay, I'm a disciplined trader. I got profits in my system. I know how to trade my system. I execute that system. Not only do I have a system, but I can see in that data that I can actually execute the strategy. And this is so vital. That's why I always say that your data is going to tell you if you should be sizing up or looking to increase your money into your account, because your data is going to tell you, hey, I'm not only taking a strategy that's 4-1, but my results are 4-1. That shows me not only do I have my strategy, but I'm executing that strategy. And that's when you can go ahead and say, I'm going to take a swing at this, because that's when you'll start seeing that, okay, so my data and the statistics tell me to increase.
And one of the things that I like to say to people is you got to learn how to lose before you can learn how to win. And that's kind of what Mitch is talking about here. You got to be able to protect your own capital. You got to be able to have a repeatable process, and you got to learn how to deal with adversity so that you're not just too emotionally wrapped up into a big trade that takes you out. Real quick, Peter is saying no trading today. Peter, where have you been, man? We have been trading all day. We are answering some questions.
No, we're taking a moment, to talk process. Because when the SPY is like this, we can take a moment, guys.
Tom says, I borrowed $1 billion from Elon to avoid the 25-day limit. Oh, man.
Yeah, unfortunately, we don't have all those friends that Elon has, right? We can't just be like, hey, someone wants to lend me 1,000K, 100K or 1 million here. But yeah, the SPY's just sideways right now. And so until it breaks down through the lows or the highs, that's what we were looking for. And what did we get? We got barely a close above this 469. If you can see here, it closed here, 416.40, then 415.43. So there you guys have it. It turned around, just chop fast. That's why we're not trading crazy, and we're protecting our capitals at all costs, like Andy says here. Protect the capital at all costs. Yesterday, I had a great day. I only had one loser, then 3 winners. And so today I got 2 losers, small losers. And what am I going to do? I'm not going to push the pedal until I see a trend. I know some people have talking about ATVI staying in a trend. That's a good trade, right? And so if you're seeing stocks stay in a trend, that's a little bit different. It's not trading with the market. And a lot of stocks right now are trading with that volatility.
By the way, Andy's profile picture there, I believe that's Vincent Company from Manchester City. So
look at you.
That's pretty sweet right there. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think I am. One more thing, quantum. This is a question I'm glad that you asked this because I go back and forth on this. What about getting really good at paper trading and then using cash? Is it possible to successfully paper trade for a year and then lose all your real money? Yes, that is absolutely possible. And let me tell you why, because when you're paper trading, you are not dealing with emotions. First of all, your fills are not like they would be with real money. It's basically if the price hits, you could have 1 million shares there. It's going to fill it. The liquidity is not actually like it would be on real money.
I'll jump in there. At least there are some paper trading softwares that will give you the shares only if they're available there.
Okay. That's
so
good.
I will jump in on that. That's DOS Trader. So
I was going to say, I don't think that was the case with TOS. I did paper trading. It was invaluable for me because it teaches me how to use the platform and what to expect when I actually click the buttons. That way, when I'm doing it with real money, I'm focused on the actual execution of the trade. But one more thing, your emotions aren't wrapped up and you're not getting the normal fills that you're getting. So it is very good practice. I recommend that everyone do it. But understand that there's another layer of difficulty that you're going to have to get over as a trader when you move to real money. Just because you're successful in paper doesn't mean that you're on your way to your Lambo in real money. It's not that easy.
It's not that easy. So what I would say to that is I've taken a new approach. So paper trading to me is strategy testing. Trading is execution testing. How good are you on that execution, right? Because paper trading, you're going to be able to follow that strategy, like Ryan says, a little bit more clearer and start seeing how you trade that strategy, right? Once you got it down on paper, then I say you go small money. That's why I always talk about that one share size, because at least at the one share size, you can actually tell yourself that you're actually trading. Yeah, you're not having the same pressures as higher share size, not the same pressure as paper. And one of the things is increase that pressure slowly. Don't try to go all that pressure at once. I think is going to give you a benefit in trying to get you through it. Now, can you learn, let's say, paper trading for a year, then slowly jump into money to see if your system works, and then increase the size and then get into profitability? Yeah, that's what it's all about, really. I'll tell you right now. It's about developing a system, learning to execute it small, and then executing it big.
And then
that's
scaling
what the big traders do.
And then scaling it up.
They test it a little bit, experiment with it just a little bit just to see if it works, and then they'll go ahead and scale in. This is where I see a lot of the traders that come in, like let's say through different trading systems or chat rooms and stuff like that, is they come in and they think that they can trade the same way the trader that's leading the chat room can with that kind of sizing. It's just not going to happen, guys.
No, it's not going to happen. And that's another really important thing. Don't measure yourself against other traders. If you're struggling to get over the 25K pattern day trading limit, don't be comparing yourself to somebody that's trading with $1 million account. It's not going to help you. They're going to be doing things differently than you as it is. Trading is about your biggest enemy is yourself. So successful traders have learned how to overcome their own internal weaknesses and learn how to balance their own emotions during the trading day. It's also a testament to how much homework they do outside of the market hours, but that's another discussion. Real quick here, Peter, talking more about Tesla here. Tesla holding that 904, strong moment of truth here. Tesla 900 seems to be a huge level for Tesla. The more it holds over 900, the more it seems to want to bounce. One of the things we're looking at here is we clearly were rejected right at VWAP. I'd like to see Tesla cross VWAP here and then make a run towards this lower high at about, what, 917? If we clear that out, then maybe we can kind of turn this back up. I don't Tesla, though, just so you understand. I don't mess around with Tesla.
Yeah, I traded it yesterday. I traded it with 5 shares, and then we made a good gain on it. But it's something definitely that you got to learn how to get into, right? Not like you get into Tesla on your first trade. I think that's important too. It's understanding what you're trading and the price level. This is why a lot of traders cannot trade high price names with low price names because they just don't know how to adjust their share size to that position. And I think this is very important. SPY bounce heading up, look out above. Honestly, look out anywhere. You tell me where it's going, Jolly. Because really right now it's just sideways. Look at the SPY, guys. It hasn't essentially moved from the open. The open was at what? The open was at 414.98. We're at 414.64. We just were at 14.90. So literally unchanged. We're not going anywhere. It's just trapping people right now. And this is why a lot of times I like being kind of more of a swing day trader to swing trader. So smaller positions looking to go into more of a swing trading position, because that gives you an ability to get around this volatility. Right now, the sizing that we put in got us stopped out. And a lot of that is because of its day trading and the volatility. When you have these high volatile moments where trends don't want to hold, that's how you can easily just get stopped out of a position, stopped out of a position, stopped out of a position, stopped out of a position. And then finally it moves and you don't have the money to jump back in.
Yeah, and that's the other thing, Jessica. I appreciate you mentioning that. Thanks everyone for your advice and words of encouragement in the chat. It helps just knowing that everyone struggles with this. This is why I tell people that it's really, really toxic to just watch like people on Twitter. Most traders on Twitter will tell you about their wins and not about their losses. And the reality is when it comes to lesson and building your own skill set, there's more value in learning lessons from your losses than there is from your wins. Your wins are a product of your plan and your execution. If you do things correctly, eventually you're going to end up profiting, no matter how big that is. Losses, however, tell you that there was a misstep there. And it's going to be imperative to you being open with yourself and saying, what did I do wrong? Trading for me really exposed something. One of the hardest things for human beings to do is admit that they're wrong. Just take a look at politics. We've got divisive people on both sides of the aisle. It's just how it goes. In trading, if that's your mentality, if that's your behavior, you are going to get slapped. If you're willing to be more open with yourself and say, I made this mistake, I didn't execute this correctly, and then you're willing to go back and work at that, you're going to be much more successful. And that actually kind of reminds me of something that what Robert said here. When I focused on getting to 25K last, I lost 80% of my account. When I analyzed my trades, I realized that the lack of discipline was everything. And that's kind of what I'm saying right there. That lack of discipline, that lack of understanding what it is that you did wrong and that you can fix that, that's going to trap you. You're not going to be able to advance if you stay with those things. So just, always be open to learning more, always.
Yeah, I always try to
therapy too.
No, and one of the things that you really need to do, guys, is take a trading journal, a real trading journal, not something that you do on the good trades and then you don't want to journal the bad trades. You need to take the data that you are executing on and compare it to your strategy. If it's not matching up, find out where you are going wrong in your strategy. Is it the entry? Is it the risk? Is it the reward? Am I not following the profit to loss ratio? Am I getting in late? You got to know your strategy to the key so that you can go ahead and try to perform that strategy to the key. And I can tell you right now, very rarely will you ever perform at 100% towards that execution. And so that's why I'm telling you to look back at it, because if your profit to loss ratio is 4-to-1 on each trade, but then you realize when you actually take the trade, you only are getting back 2-to-1, you need to adjust your strategy to close it towards that 2-to-1 so that you can actually match your personality. And your personality is saying, hey, I need to be quick to those profits here. And so that's why it's so important to understand your personality. And once you understand your personality, you can try to match it with strategies too. Because if you don't understand your personality and how it works in trading, a lot of times you could be trading a strategy that just isn't you.
Yeah, see, Tom, this is valuable. This is super valuable. This is someone that's obviously been doing this for a long time. Tom says, find the trading system that works for you. I'd rather hit singles than swing for home runs. Believe 100%. Me, I want a Lamborghini too, folks. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. I want a Lamborghini. I don't have one. But trying to trade with that as the mindset is complete poison. Got to hit singles. Got to go for a repeatable process. Got to go for things that are slower moving and things of that nature. So that's really good advice, Tom.
100%. And find the accuracy that matches your personality too, right? Some people trade strategies that are like by 80, 90% accurate. What are those people? Those are people that can't lose. I'll tell you right now. That's the personality of a type of person that is like, every time they lose, they're like, just detrimental to their own mindset. And so why do they want to trade a strategy that's 80 to 90% accurate? Is because they don't want to be putting that pressure of the emotional loss. They only want to put that pressure of emotional loss 10% of the time. And so like sometimes, to tell you the truth, what I've seen is I'm really good at swing trading and close towards that 40%. I don't even need to be more than 50% accurate to be into the green. And this is going back into my data and focusing on what works, right? And so it all is dependent a lot of the times on your personality, your strategy, and how you can execute it. There's 3 levels there, right? Because I mean, hey, your personality cannot match your strategy, but then you can execute it. Then you'll be like, okay, well, maybe I just continue trading this. But the pressure on you in the long run is going to make another factor to come playing on in. So let's keep working, guys. Like always, one of the things is this show's all about process. You do see us trading, but we're not here to tell you, hey, we made $20,000 on this trade and this is a life-changing trade. That's not what we're here for. We're here to teach you guys that the step-by-step process is what can get you to that profitability and get you to the success that you're looking for.
You guys are joking about the Italian sports cars. I drive a Ford. Just so you know where I'm at. Real quick, Bernie here. I'm stuck at the 25K to 26K, which is very stressful. Money management has kept me above 25K. This is something that is often not thought about when people are talking about that move to 25K.
It's tough.
You think when you get there, you're done. And the reality is that no, you're not, because you can still fall below that. And what Bernie is describing here is that battle. He's trying to stay above that threshold, and it's turning into money management. And that's what's keeping him above it. So it's tough to do. John says, if getting to 25K is causing your account to blow up, why would you just not open the account with 25K in the first place? This makes no sense. John, not everyone has that kind of capital. Some of these people are trying to work this up from very small accounts, but you're right. If you can, if this is a big goal, if you can wait until you have all of the, I would actually say 30 or maybe even 35.
30 is the number that I've seen is going to give you that little bit of cushion to not feel so pressured to, if I lose $1,000 right out the gates, I'm going to be kind of eating myself. The same way goes for the smaller trader. I see a lot of smaller traders. What do? They get all their saving account, that college saving account, that $2,000 that they saved up, they worked up for, and then they put it all into one account day one. Wrong move in my eyes. I'm not a financial advisor, guys, but at least to me, what you should do is kind of start edging in your money into your account, putting a little bit, testing out how you do. Then if you blow that up, guess what? Now you still have a chance to put some money back into an account and try again. Not just trying to put all your money in and then just trying to use all your money to swing in every trade. This is what a lot of traders on YouTube are going to be trying to teach you. A lot of traders on Twitter, they're going to be trying to teach you is that you should be swinging into these big trades and putting about like 80% of your account into one trade. And I can tell you right now, that leads to disaster because none of us know what's going to happen. And if we did, then okay. Yeah. I mean, if I could just throw some tarot reading cards out and get all the stocks, I'd go ahead and do so. But the truth is you can't do that. And so if you put all your eggs in one basket, what is that going to do? Yeah, that gives you a higher probability of getting towards that 25,000 faster, but it also gives you a higher probability of blowing up and just ruining your account, ruining the savings that you worked hard for. And so that's why I talk about how sometimes the PDT trader that doesn't have the money to trade over 25K, I say you don't focus on trying to get to that 25K. You focus more on just being a great trader at the level that you are. And if you're a great trader, guess what? In the long run, you'll get to that 25,000. You'll get there, guys.
Gucci, yeah, I did. I actually saw your question a few times. I'm sorry. We were not ignoring you. We were not kicking you down the line. Let me answer your question here. Third time asking, how much do you need to make before taxes to do this as a daily job?
Ooh,
so
that's smart.
this is a really good question. And I'll be honest with you. I don't know that I have a singular answer to this. If I had to answer this, I would say you should have $500,000. Because the reality is that the market is going to go through periods where it humbles you. There's no way around it. No one is invincible in this game. No one wins all of the time. There are going to be periods of struggle and periods of getting humbled, and you need to make sure that you have the funds to cover that. The other thing is if all you're doing is trading and that's all that you're relying on your income, that is another level of stress. I work here for Benzinga. I get a paycheck. I don't make no secrets about that. I do not support myself off of trading alone. To me, that's one of the reasons why I'm successful doing this, because I have other ways to mitigate that emotions. It's always important to have other income streams, other ways to pick you up. A lot of people do this with investment properties or buying and selling things on eBay and Etsy. There are a number of different ways to kind of pad that daily activity, making sure you have income coming in from more streams. Some of the best traders I know that do this for a living, they worked regular jobs and saved up a tremendous amount of money before they were able to do this. I know everyone wants it to happen overnight. The reality is that that's just not the norm. This is a hard job and it takes a lot of work. So
Yeah, it's a little bit of what I like to think about is if you're trying to do this as your only income, you gotta be a really, really good trader, guys. I can be honest, guys. I think I can make money in trading, but I don't think I can make an income in trading. Can I supplement income? Yes. I can give myself a nice edge. I can give myself a boost in life. That I feel like I've gotten to that level. But can I make like enough gains to just completely live off of it? No, not yet, guys. And until then, you guys won't see me try. And so that's one thing that I always say, guys, is just figure out what level you're on and don't try to be outside of that level. You know what I mean? Don't try to be an all-star when you're just a rookie getting into the league. Let's just be honest. That's not going to happen. You got to show yourself, prove yourself. That's where trading comes in, the confidence that you need to show within yourself that you can get to the next level. Then always the pressure is going to come when you get to that next level. Same way that this always happens. Taxes and trading, I would stay away from certain people. I'm not going to go ahead and mention them. But what I would say is if you really need to get ahead of your taxes and that's your concern because you're just making so many profits, go towards a tax specialist that understands not only tax, because you're going to find a lot of people that understand taxes to do like income, but the people that are advanced in stock trading and understand day trading, because you're going to find that a lot of these lawyers, a lot of these accountants, they probably don't understand day trading and those taxes, even though they got degrees. Make sure they're actually experts in those areas they can speak upon it so that you can know, okay, I'm getting good advice. And there's so much out there. There's so many tax advice services. So just be careful out there. Make sure that you're getting good advice. That's why I don't really jump into that spot. Money Mitch, what others think you do for a living? Right here. You're seeing it, guys. I trade for a living. I cover stocks. You know, I cover a lot of the I do a lot of the kind of the producing in the background when you guys are watching like pre-market prep, at the close. This show I kind of produce and host, so that helps me out. But that's really what I do, guys. I kind of build here at Benzinga, trying to get us some more content, building up our YouTube. When I first started, we were at 13,000 subscribers. You can see where we're at now. And that's what I do, guys. I use my YouTube skills that I've learned, my optimization skills, things that you guys can help us with if you guys have some expertise. There's the SPY finally going through that 416.29. You know what? Let's take another shot here at our NVIDIA. All right, so I just took it one more time here. We're going to risk off of 193.50s here, and we're going to look for NVIDIA to take out the highs here. Let's see if we can do that. Just got back in it. We got out of this one when it was dropping back down here. Let me give you guys that red mark here so you guys know that we stopped out once here, and that stop out was exactly at 194.20. So I can bring this back down here closer towards where we are right now. And then we're going to look for this move back on up through 195.55s. Just got in there. The average is 194.95s here. Is that? No, that's not the average. 194.25. There you go. 194.25 here. Right around the level that we stopped out. So We're getting back in here. Why? The SPY is breaking on out. We're looking for this to hold the VWAP now and take out the highs. So the high is up here towards, let's say, 197. We'll see if that can get moving there. Take a look at the SPY, how it's starting to push here. Now we're going to take a look at what, like the main leaders, like Apple. Look how Apple's starting to push here. Tesla's starting to push here. It's funny, I said it before even going to the stock because I already knew it was going to probably be up there. Look at that. That's a nice chart there on Tesla. We were looking at that a little bit earlier there. Nice little push there from the 910s there. We'll see if that holds and takes out 930 on the upside.
Really good piece of advice here by Tom. Annual goals. Small traders easily make 100% returns if you put the time in just hitting daily singles. If you trade size, then percentages drop. So I was actually just asked by another coworker about daily goals, and I don't have any daily goals. And I don't have any daily goals because it makes me feel like if I'm behind that I become more, or excuse me, that I become less disciplined in my trading and I make more mistakes. So having an annual goal, having something that you can stretch out over some time, that might be a lot easier and more palatable for most traders. By the way, Annie here, 166, 167 is your high. I'm going to take a stab at this here and see if we can get this to move. Annie, 166 looking to push above. I have Indo here. I missed this move too, Jay.
I got you, bro. You focus on your trade. I got you. There's any guys going through 166 there. Nice little hold of VWAP there. That's what I like. Every time that it's come back below VWAP, it immediately recovers. That's a good sign there in any. What are the levels that I'm looking at? Let's look at the hourly. Where can we see some resistance coming into play here? We got 166 and then above that, next resistance
167. We're at the day high here. They're whittling it. Here we go.
173 is the level that I see above this. We'll see if we can get up there to that. Now we're up at that breakout spot. Let's see if we can get it there. And just to kind of, let's put the 3 charts up here. I'll put NVIDIA here in the middle, and I will slide this to the right here so we can have both of our trades in action. Where did you get in, Ryan?
166. So
I'll just put a circle right there.
167 high a day break here.
I just put a circle for you guys there. That's Ryan's trade, not mine. But I just wanted you guys to see the levels, and we'll see if these trades can start taking off. So there you guys have it. NVIDIA looking good there. If you can get through the 95s, start getting on up there towards the 96. Big thing for us also is to keep on watch of the spot.
Cut it here real quick. Cut it here. So again, thesis for this trade. Oh, hi, buddy. Thesis for this trade. We're trying to buy this break. Okay. This break didn't happen. So I'm going to sit out and let it materialize. I can't believe it. I made $4 and I thought I was getting out at even. Somehow I was up $4 on that. Anyway, we're trying to buy a break here. This is a very, very specific plan that's repeatable for me. It didn't happen. I took it. I hope that it happened. It didn't happen. I was wrong. I was at least in this particular juncture. So I'm back out now. So now here we're at 166 bid. 167 is up. If they snap 167, maybe we get a pop. That's what I'm maybe trying to trade. No position yet, but watching it as we speak.
Unfortunately, we can't tell you what to do with your puts or calls. If you give us a little bit more example, we can kind of take a look at it as how we would trade something, but we can't tell you what to do because at the end of the day, we aren't financial advisors, and nor do I want to be. I think I can be.
It's stressful managing my own money. I don't want to manage anyone else's.
Yeah, man. There's a big thing. I mean, I have a finance degree. I could have easily gone into some of these kind of wealth companies, but I'll tell you right now, not what I want to be a part of, guys. I don't want to be telling people what to do. I want people to learn from my examples how I approach stuff. And that's why I do Money Mitch. And that's why I do the sector to industry analysis a lot of the times, is trying to find names to highlight a certain area because I feel like it could start moving. Then it's up to you guys to find that, see if you guys agree with my decision, and then choose the stocks that you guys want. I'd rather tell you guys an area and then see it kind of work out. And then you guys pick certain stocks in there and make some gains, because that shows me that you guys are learning from the process there. And that's what I want. I love to hear when I hear like Jay was mentioning an oil stock that I didn't know of, and it was booming through the roof. That's what I like to see, because that helps other traders find stocks too, not necessarily just your trade. Hertz making a move up.
I'm going to get out of here for the day.
All right, no worries. We'll get you on out of here, Ryan. Thank you for sticking around some extra. Guys, please smash the like button. Support
Like
us as
up,
we
baby.
support you guys. Ryan sticking on here a little bit later. Zunaid's missing out, so appreciate you sticking around. We'll take a look at some of the other stocks, but like always, guys, I appreciate Ryan for sticking around. And you guys can always reach out to Ryan. He's one of our Benzinga Pro experts and can definitely help you out if you need some help in Benzinga Pro.
No question. And if you're here enjoying what we're doing, please check out Benzinga Pro. It is the tool that changed everything for me. I'm sure it can do that for you as well. Knowing the news, knowing the flow, having access to our scanners and our squawk especially, invaluable. So check it out. Free 2-week trial. Automatically expires at the end. You don't even need a credit card. Hopefully it'll make you a believer. So we'll be right back at this tomorrow. Take care, everybody.
Thank you, Ron. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and keep on going here. If you guys got a stock to take a look at, let's go ahead. Let's start throwing them on up here. We got about, 17 minutes till we get to Benzinga Live here. Taking a look at Hertz. I know some people mentioned it. I was taking a look at it this morning to see if CAR was going to push on up here. CAR is finding some bottoming action, but it's not by the VWAP. Hertz is above the VWAP. I would want to see CAR get to the VWAP to see if we're going to get that gain. Let's take a look at the SPY as the SPY pulled above that 416.29, but now pulling back. We don't want to see it get back below 416. That's kind of the level that I'm looking at for things to kind of turn back around and still be in the chop zone. So let's see if we can get that continued breakout and go back towards 418. Then we could potentially see our NVIDIA go deep into the green. We were into the green there a significant amount, like about $1. But looking forward to kind of get above that 95.50, going towards 97. All right, let's go ahead. Let's take some stocks from the chat. I see all those stocks flowing in right now. I'm going to do my best to cover as many as I can before 11:30, but you guys do me the favor, smash that like button. It's time, guys. Hit that piggy bank. Break it out. Let's go looking for some trades. Let's see what we see out in the market. And like always, guys, hit the subscribe and the bell so you guys can be notified the moment we go live. All right, guys, let's go ahead and see what we're seeing out there. I'm going to go searching with a little bit of some metal detector here, seeing what we can find, what is moving on out there. Let's go right into it and jump right in. All right, so stocks in the chat being mentioned. I see so many stocks flowing, so I'm going to do my best to get through these. Let's go. It's time for the lightning round. Moneyball 8, Ryan. Hey, can't go wrong. Faloona. All right, let's go. Happy Teachers Appreciation Day. I didn't even know that was a thing today. Thank you, teachers. I mean, honestly, I did have a teacher in college that really talked to me about day trading. He said that you probably like that. I was looking at stocks at that time and talking to him about stuff and kind of the after hours. I still remember there was the young investors group, and the president was going up to him and asking him a question. He's like, "Oh, you want to learn about day trading? Well, go talk to Mitch." And I was like, "Yo, man, I'm just trying to learn myself." So, hey, Teachers Appreciation. Power to all the teachers out there. They definitely deserve our money. They teach us not only from the knowledge they know, the knowledge from the books, but experience. And I think that's also a great benefit is when you can get those teachers that not only teach from knowledge, but they can teach you from experience and try to help you push forward. And who knows, maybe it's appreciation for Ryan and I today, trying to push you guys forward. I hope so too. All right, let's go. Time to fly through here. Let's do DKNG. We got some other stocks. I'm going to put this full screen here and let's start working through. All right, so DKNG, the one I'm looking for. Hey, guys, I wanted to take this stock, but down to 13s. It never got to there, guys. On the second, we just started pushing off there. We're already up there to 15. So I was looking at this one yesterday, but didn't take the trade there. It's already up about 15%. We'll see if this can retrace here, but it's definitely been strong. So to me, I'm looking for retraces to 13. But I understand why you're taking the shot here. It did break kind of this trend here. We'll see if we can get back above 16. That's really where you can see it start fighting some other lows. Let's go to Ford. Ford being mentioned here. Hey, baby. Let's go ahead. Let's take a look here. If we can get back above 15. I talked about this trend line that was very important for Ford. If you take a look at the weekly, we've been holding this trend line for so long, but now it finally broke here. We're looking for this line to recover. So it needs to get back up above, let's say like 1634s for me to really be bullish on Ford. Right now, I'm staying away from it, especially with what's going on right now. EV's not in favor right now, at least in my eyes. I know you've seen Tesla up, but for me, I think it's a hands-off type of trade right now. Starbucks, let's go ahead. Let's take a look here. Earnings coming after the close, and I think you're going to still see continued struggle on Starbucks. I could say Starbucks could easily be down towards 60 and 50s by the end of the week. I am very bearish Starbucks, and that's why I will tell you guys that I do have a bias there. I am bearish on Starbucks. The reason why is I think it's a dying brand, and really, why is it a dying brand? It's just been around for so long, and it just doesn't have the same pizzazz that it used to have. I remember back in the day, people used to love going to Starbucks and said they got their Starbucks coffee to start their day. Now there's other options. There's more coffee shops that you see, the mom and pop's coffee shop. And of course, one of my favorites, the Dutch Bros, but that's not everywhere. And I mean, there's other coffee places that are coming on up. So take a look at that. And for me, I think Starbucks, the competition has caught up. They have way too many stores, and they don't have any innovation that has happened in the last, let's say, 5-10 years. It's the same thing. And with that, it's a dying brand in my eyes, so I'm staying away. Let's go to Chewy. Chewy being mentioned here. Chewy is coming off that 2064 level. We'll see if this can come back on up there. But for me, I think this is a stock that is also a dying brand. Why do I think Chewy's a dying brand? It's not because it's an older brand, but for me, Chewy lost the competitive advantage to get the food to your house. If Petco, PetSmart are going to work with companies like Grubhub and let's say all these kind of delivering services that you see now, and they can get you the same food that you're ordering on Chewy for a 2 to 3 day delivery in one day, I think they lose the competitive advantage here. And until they can get my food to me in the same day or one day, I think they're out of the competitive advantage there. They do have a competitive advantage sometimes in pricing, but that pricing is because they hold it in the warehouse, right? And if you got to wait to get that product, who's not going to pay, let's say, $2 or $3 more to get it in 1 hour? I would be paying to get it in the same day because a lot of times we wait till that food runs out and then we go shopping. But like always, you choose your own one there on Chewy. Let's keep going. Let's go to MU here. MU, Micron Technology, holding the lows here. It doesn't look bad there. Let's take a look at the monthlies. You can see the monthly low right underneath it here, trying to really hold around the 68. I think if that 68 holds, you're looking well. What you don't want to see is 65 break on the downside. That could bring you back down to 50. Right now, it's just in sideways action. All right, let's keep going. Thank you, Ryan, for your time. Like always, I love the love for Ryan. I appreciate that, guys. We work hard together. And so I love when I see Zunaid mentions and Ryan mentions. Let's go ahead. Let's take a look at the Qs here. Qs bouncing off of that support, now trying to break through the high. The SPY was breaking through that high and continuing, so that looks good for us there in NVIDIA. Now we're up there towards 95.30s. We want to see a breakout above that 95.55 to really get up there towards the 197 level, and then we can have our great gain on the day. And guess what? Get us back into the green on the day. Even though we had two losers, we can be back in the green if NVIDIA gets back through the highs today. We'll see what happens there. Let's keep watch and see if these can keep moving. All right, Airbnb, one to be kind of mentioned. I'm glad I got out of this one, guys. I got out of the swing trade here when this was coming on down with the market on Friday, and it kind of sucked because I'll just be honest. I was up a significant amount before I got out of this trade, and I had to get out because it started coming back to what? Break even. You guys know if I start getting into the green big, I'm not going to push the levels. I got to understand that break even is going to be 10 times better than holding on to a bag, because if I was holding on to Airbnb, guess what? Now I'd be holding on to the bag right now as you're seeing this dip. And this is a dip that I don't want to be a part of. And so that's why I got out of it. It's hard to be a long-term investor in Airbnb because you have seen a lot of swings on the monthlies. So to me, I think it's just very difficult to try to take this one on a long term. I like it for swing trading. I like it for day trading. But for right now, it's a tough stock. Let's go ahead. Let's keep going here. RG. Oh, no, RG was she was just mentioning it. Bry being mentioned, Berry Corp. Oil gas. Yeah, don't know this one, guys. Looks like an oil gas name here. I would take a look at the hourly here, and you can see how it kind of came up. We pulled back sideways a couple days. We just filled this gap, so just be careful because you did fill that gap. It could just be that gap fill for right now, and then you see a continuation. I take a look at the daily chart. I need to see it back by 12 for me to get excited, but it is coming off the support there around the 11. All right, let's keep going. Fubo earnings coming this week. Yeah, I might get Fubo on. I got to see what happens on there, but we do have the connection with Fubo, so I might reach out to try to get them on after their earnings. They're hanging out there around the 426. I mean, with some good earnings, maybe they come up there towards 5, but it's just trouble here trying to call a stock that's down to the low, and then you're trying to call it on the earnings. It's just trouble and scary for me, so I would stay away from it. But like always, you make your own investment decisions, Caesar. Let's go, guys. UNG being brought up by Patrick. All right, so natural gas pushing on up here towards 27. This is one that I say definitely. Why not, guys? I mean, we were looking at this one during the wartime, which was right over here, and now we're really starting to push on up. This is just looking great. Not a bad stock. I think this is a swing that you kind of can keep holding for right now, unless you see anything change in the Russian situation and the Ukraine situation. This probably can keep getting inflated. All right, let's go ahead. Let's keep going. What other ones are being mentioned in the chat? Hit the like, guys, while you're at it. Almost there. 7 minutes left. Let's go. Let's go. All right. What else we got here? Facebook being mentioned. I can take a look at that. FLWS. This is not a bad one. Violet Miller. I got you. I'll take a look at that. This one was an interesting one. This is kind of the Mother Day play here. I think you could get a chance for a gap fill up there towards 12. That's not a bad one to take a look at. Let's take a look at the hourly, and you're going to see that gap here a little bit better here. And I'm going to draw it on out here on the side so you guys can see how this has been holding on up there from that 28 down moment. And we're looking to see if it can fill this up, right? And so I don't think it's a bad approach if you got in there a little bit earlier and you're looking for this to come back on up there towards 12. I would keep an eye out to see if this closes the gap. And of course, Mother Day is on this weekend, guys. Sunday. Don't miss it. Don't get those mothers upset. I want to see you guys go ahead and give your mothers some good love. So, hey, maybe send them some 1-800-flowers.com. We'll see what happens there, guys. All right, CMI Cummings brought up by Sabrina. This is one company that I would say look towards them in the long run. Right now, I'm kind of keeping an eye out on them, but they are jumping off that bottom, and it does look like a good, interesting chart there for me. If you take a look at the weekly, we've gotten 1, 2, 3, 4 times to break that bottom, and then we just held it. I like that reversal there as we look to break that, and then next thing you know, we hold it. Now we're starting to push back on up. Want to see it get out of this range here, so we look for a little peak, and we draw a trend line, and we needed to get it up there through there. So we're looking for a move up towards 210s, and then we can really start changing the trend on this name. Let's see if we get on up there towards the 210s. I will keep this one on radar, even though I think this one's going to be more of a stock that's going to make big moves when we do get EV to kind of continue going. They are working on certain kind of new things that they're trying to come up with. And Cummins is not a bad one to take a look at. I would keep on watch of this one because if you take a look at the long trend, this is one that's interesting, especially for a long-term investment. Nice little levels off the 189 level. We'll see if it gets back towards 210. Zim being bought up by Brandon. Nice, not a bad one. Needs to recover up here towards this trend line. So it needs to get back above 64.42s for it to start being bullish as it broke the trend that it was holding. All right, keep going. Let's go. AMD coming on back there at 291. Doesn't look bad. Remember, earnings after the close. We'll see what happens on AMD. Can it break out of this 15-minute hold and get through the 92 level? All right, guys. NVIDIA went up there towards a high of 195.92. We'll look to see if it gets through 196 here and then start scaling on out. Let's go, guys. There's some more stocks in the chat and a lot of things to go through. Like always, guys, I'm going to try to do my best. Starbucks earnings report is tonight. We'll see if they get destroyed there. Kind of catch up with the chat. What's up out there, Red Rum? Red Drum. Play those drums, baby. Tap, tap, tap. Pop, pop. Pow, baby. Let's go. CRXT being brought up. I got you, man. I'll take a look at that. This is a 57-cent stock. You wanted me to take a look at this earlier. I wasn't able to actually talk about it because Ryan was talking. Didn't want to interrupt. but I would look for a move back above 58 here. And really, I mean, look at the daily. This has no trend right now. And for me, this would be a dangerous type of stock to play. But like always, determine your own risk. All right, let's go. What do you think about Palantir down here? Not a bad one to take a look at. Let's go ahead. Let's take a look at Palantir's down towards 1072, guys. Really, I want to see this kind of break 10. Because if this could break 10, it could come back down through the 52-week lows, and then I'll start dipping my toes in this one. As I think this stock will come back at some point. But right now, until it gets back above 12 or breaks through the lows of, like, let's say 976, I'm staying away. BAC just went straight up. Let's take a look. All right, Bank of America coming back at 37 there, bouncing at 36. I did see some mentions of some like kind of raises on analysts kind of ratings. WFC was one of those. I think a lot of this has to do with, of course, interest rates rising, right? But the only thing that you got to keep mentioning is that these stocks have gone down with these interest rates rise. So when are these stocks going to change trends? I think that's the important part to watch. When do we actually change the trend and actually keep going on up here? We'll keep on watch. Facebook, I got you, dude. I feel like I skipped it and I mentioned it a couple times here. It's just stuck here. I think it's trying to get towards a third resistance touch. So if you take a look here, there's a down one, up one, and then it goes sideways here, right? It just cracks through this, just like kind of like how the overall market's been doing. And it looks to me like we're trying to get back towards 224. And then we potentially could come back down towards 180. So you got to be careful with this stock, especially Facebook. You never know where it's going to go, especially when a stock is changing its business environment. It's leaning towards Meta. And so right here, you got to call this Meta platforms now. And in the long run, I just see like a lot of people going away from Facebook. I don't see people going to it. And until they can really kind of make the VR and AR kind of thing blow up, I think that's something you got to keep on watch. I was watching for the new goggles to come out, and it looks like their goggles is going to be more intended for the worker and not the gamer. And so this is one thing good to mention here. I think it's personally turning me off from Meta. I thought they were going to come out with a way better Oculus 2 type of version, Oculus 3. But the truth is they're coming out with something more to kind of the worker that they could be using. Like, let's say it could turn into your whole desktop. It's not a bad idea. But for right now, I think that's an idea that is going to turn people away from Facebook until they see it, until they actually see some adoption of that technology. All right, seeing a lot of stocks flowing on through there, guys. We're go ahead and out of time. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I tried to get through so many stocks here. We'll see what happens. Like always, guys, keep battling on through. Still deep into the green here in NVIDIA. Not looking bad there. We got it in there at the 194.25. We're at 195. Pretty much 195 right now, guys. So up about 75 cents on the name. We'll see what happens if it takes out 196 on the upside. A lot of that's going to be due to the SPY. What happens in the SPY? We're up there towards 418, almost to the 420 mark that I talked about in pre-market. That's where I could see some slowdown coming in. But like always, guys, determine your own investment advice. This content is for informational purposes, not to be used as investment advice. And I hope that you guys learned something today. That's what we're really here for. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and wrap on up. We'll see you next time. And like always, go check out Benzinga Live, guys. That's going to be coming on next. Like always, we'll see you there, and take care.